Here comes the motherfucking G, pimp tight in your motherfucking hood. Like that should be understood. We ain't stopping, nigga, nah, we ain't falling, we ain't quit. When you see me wanna stop, nigga, we all bullshitting in this motherfucker. Will a sucker rush and put the things on it, make him see some stars. Then rain on it, keep your aim on it. It ain't all about the hen and the hay. You see me in the streets, I bet you think I wanna play. Look here, I ain't got this, seeing me blind. I got a purpose in this motherfucker. I'm in the show, if I can make it, you can make it in this motherfucker. Ain't no other brother gonna do it for you. He might help, but when it all boils down, still in it for yourself. You got a family, I got a family, and goddamn it, be time to let that real ass man in me take a stand for me. I got plans to be set tight. It ain't shit finna fuck up my plans to get right. Shit might seem way out of reach, but fuck negative. Better get with better things to touch better shit. And all the sneaky shit that your ass trying to do. You been peeping on my pimpin', looking for a downfall. And I ain't gon' even hang around y'all. I found y'all niggas to be false and fake assholes for the fame. What they do? They gon' give it up. Put your hand in my shit, I breaks it off. A-ball, yeah. MJG, we gon' get straight out the mind of a nigga who done seen the light up all night, trying to figure out why shit ain't right. Uptight, ecstasy done got the best of me. Got me gritting my teeth and I can't go to sleep. Feel the beat, bump, bump. Beating up a nigga back, bout to bust out the trunk. We crunk, we dumb, if a nigga won't fuck. But I don't really think the motherfuckers want none. Pimp nigga, South nigga, running his mouth nigga. Pull out a map and choose another route nigga. Prisoner of war and I can't get out nigga. Mad face, drop it off like it's a drought nigga. Suave house nigga, big ball and MJ. Space age pimpin', doing it the play away. Underground, independent, making more dough. Hustling cause no dough is a no-no. Fuck hoes, let me hold something I can fold. Thinking you fly when that shit you poppin' is old. Cold-blooded like Rick with this rap shit. And if a nigga wanna scrap shit, I don't give a fuck. You, and all the sneaky shit that your ass trying to do. You been peeping on my pimpin', looking for a downfall. And I ain't gon' even hang around y'all. I found y'all niggas to be false and fake assholes for the fame. What they do? They gon' give it up. Put your hand in my shit, I breaks it off. A-ball, yeah. MJG, we don't give a fuck. I got that pimp shit you wanna roll with. Stay in control, stay on your toes with. That before with behold with. Back on the hose with. Eat lunch, change clothes with. Rolling on bowling to the side, fold doors with plenty of tent. I got my windows black in. Soon as you ride clear, you let them haters back in. Bitches be acting like soap opera. Fuck you hoes, go and see you a dope doctor. Shit that you tryin', baby, I'm already done with it. You be the fifth, I be the motherfucking one with it. I got my nuts, and my guts, and my heart in it. Give me a couple of part in it. From the start in it, we had hard in it to win it. 30 birdies, straight love like tennis. Rhyme menace, finish all point shavers. Bump and grind until we make our shit major. Until then, you can hit me on the pager. 1-800 Big Ball Hip Hop Savior. Remember that, and we gon' keep it on the cool. Smoking act a fool and take rookies to school. Veteran MC, purple ribbon pedigree. Tennessee MC, Mr. B.I.G. and MJG. Hard from the fucking start, hard from the fucking start. Cause we don't give a fuck. You, and all the sneaky shit that your ass trying to do. You been peeping on my pimpin', looking for a downfall. And I ain't gon' even hang around y'all. I found y'all niggas to be false and fake assholes for the fame. What they do? They gon' give it up. Put your hand in my shit, I breaks it off. A-ball, yeah. MJG, we don't give a fuck. Crossing the sands of Babylon. Point shavers set traps and ambushes. Space age hoes use hypnotic touches and aromas. Extraterrestrial bitches putting tricks in comas. As I hover above the slums, 220 miles per hour, smoking orange juice, sniffing information, loving life. Bitch, I don't give a fuck.
Salute, and welcome back to the Black Ocean Now. So we're getting deep in with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. Yes, we are on the third and final part of cooking these goofy tethers and this undercover Democrat shill, silly seals, aka Amanda Seals. Yes, I'm going there. Here's what it is. I'm gonna cook this joker here with hot fish grease. We got to do it, because see, mark my words as I'm telling you, family. Come time for the midterms, hey, she gonna be pushing Democrat. Watch what I tell you, okay? And for those of you that have been asking, yes, I'm gonna be dealing with Mr. Frank Zanu on the channel. If you look into the live section of upcoming broadcast, you will see that. Oh, we gonna get down to business on that. I'm gonna take the kid gloves off because, you know, I've seen a lot of people covering it, and I've covered some of his nonsense on this channel before, but I guarantee you, that broadcast, we gonna shut some shit down, okay, with absolute facts, and it ain't gonna be nothing that nobody can argue with. A lot of people gonna be mad. I'm gonna tell you right now, I expect to lose some subs off this one, okay? Because see, we've told these tethers, you check your off code, people, or we will. And you know I love to handle that, okay? So yeah, that broadcast coming up. Couple of days here, yeah, we gonna make you see Frank Zanu in a completely different light. Okay, since he wants to disrespect our lineage and talk about what we shouldn't do and what we don't have, I'm gonna give you a thorough breakdown of him and his particular tether class kind. Notice I said tether class. All right. Now, just letting y'all know what's gonna be coming up on Patreon. Gonna be a lot of stuff that's very graphic. A lot of that stuff I know I definitely cannot cover on YouTube. So if you have not joined us over there, you want to catch some of that upcoming content, a lot of that'll probably start dropping tomorrow. You might want to think about joining over there, okay? Because yeah, we definitely can't cover these subjects coming up on YouTube, okay? So now, with that said, let me scroll over here as I do. My esteemed guests in the chat room. And give me a black fist or a thumbs up if you can hear me loud and clear. If it's any issues, want to know post haste, I can get that taken care of. Give me a black fist or a thumbs up in the chat room if you can hear me loud and clear, brothers and sisters. Okay? Let me scroll up and make sure that I see all of you. All right, I see the brother Concerned Black Citizen in the house. Nisha Murdoch is in here. Breeze Omega. Let's see, Priscilla Taylor, my good brother, Mr. Sam. What's going on, brother? Many blessings to your household. Tina Collins, the sister, is in here. Let's see, Project Leroy is on deck. Mac Maroon in the building. Let's see, salute and welcome to all of you and anybody else who be joining us tonight. GB King Harris, I see you, my brother. So, without further ado, we're going to get underway here. And there's something I want to address before we get into tonight's main, subject matter here, because it actually goes hand in hand with what I was talking about in the other previous parts of this particular broadcast. If you missed that, all you have to do is look in the live section. I did part 1 and 2. This is the third part tonight for any new people that are just joining us. Okay. Now, family, I want to show you something. A lot of y'all probably already saw this, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get ahead of this now. I'm going to play something real quick, and then I'm going to come back with my commentary.
I ain't talking about no dollar. Reparations. Yeah, my people want their power. Reparations. When I'm gone, don't give me flowers. Reparations. When you know what's yours is ours. Reparations. I ain't talking about no dollar. Reparations. Yeah, my people want their power. Reparations. When I'm gone, don't give me flowers. Reparations. When you know what's yours is ours. Reparations. Oh.
All right, family, did y'all hear that nonsense? Yeah, y'all heard that, right? Reparations. Ain't taking back no dollar. Reparations. Hey, listen, man. Family, learn these two words. Controlled opposition. Say it yet again, controlled opposition. Learn those two words. That right there was a Democrat shield tactic to try to come at us and redirect the narrative on reparations. First of all, I want you to listen to the lyrics of that atrocious hymn or whatever you want to call it. Reparations. I ain't talking about no dollar. Reparations. My people want their power. Okay. In the United States of America, a component of power is the U.S. dollar that was earned off the backs of foundational Black American freedmen's ancestors. Okay? If you don't have that in just recompense, then you do not have one of the main components of power. You know the other three that I mentioned. Okay? Information and respect. All right? Those are two of the currencies, three components of power. If you have that in tandem with money, now you can move some things if you understand how each of them work. And for those that are new that have never heard me say that, I will run through that briefly. Okay? Now, money, that's obvious. It's a tool to get things done. All right? You start looking at money as anything other than a tool to get things done, you fall victim to worshiping it. And then, hey, like the Bible says, the good book, the love. Notice I said the love. The love of money is the root of all evil, not the paper itself. Okay? Then you have respect. That opens doors for you that money cannot sometimes, depending on who you're dealing with and where you are. Most powerful component, power, is information. Started and ended wars. Okay? Once you become a master and have the ability to control information in the right way, use it for the right things, believe me, the world is your oyster. You understand? Now you combine all three of those components of power together with people that know how to use them. Now you can do some stuff. Let me say this to the Democrats directly, okay? What you put together right there, because we know you're behind it, all right? And we already seen chorus coming out here paying these flunkies and sound bowls to come over in our spaces and try to run interference. You've insulted the intelligence of my people, okay? We seen that coming a mile away. Reparations starts with cash payments, okay? Anything else added to that? Cool. But it starts with exactly what you earned off the backs of our ancestors. Taught us by no education. Let me go ahead and clear this up because we might have some new people over here that don't understand what the foundational Black American grassroots is. A lot of people like land. Okay. United States of America, under the current laws, you have to pay property taxes. And if you don't have money to develop land, the land is useless. So yes, land is valuable, but it takes money to maintain and develop land. And third, it also takes money to secure your land, okay? So for the people that are like, I don't want no money, that money ain't worth nothing. Just give me some land. For the nitwits to say that, let me educate you on something. This is very simple. And over here on this platform, I like to make the truth plain for my people, okay? If the U.S. dollar really wasn't worth anything, they would have paid them reparations a long time ago. Why you think they're fighting so hard to pay it? The U.S. dollar is worth a lot. It's worth plenty. And here's the main thing that lets you know that it's still plenty good. You don't see any multimillionaires or billionaires throwing their money away in the streets, okay? If white people really thought and believed that U.S. dollar wasn't worth anything, they would just be throwing their money out. They were like, give it to the niggas. It'll be a cool joke, okay? You understand? So over here, we actually like to use our common sense. I just want to take care of that bit of housekeeping. So the next time that you see anything like that, and trust me, they're desperate now because they don't know how to deal with the delineation movement, family. We're on their necks like vampires, and we're going to stay on their necks, okay? Because we have a mission to accomplish, not just for ourselves, but for future generations. We have never been this on code across the generations, Gen X, millennials, Gen Z. Shout out to the on code boomers that are out there. You know, the ones of you that's not up in churches where they telling you to vote Democrat or Republican, or where your pastor sitting there talking about a perpetual building fund, not a damn thing get built. Hello, Umar, talking about you. And yes, I'm going to get back on him. I'm just waiting for that whole situation to wrap up so I can see how that's going to transpire with that. You know, I know a lot of people just been kind of piling on. But at this point, what else more is there really to say until we see, you know, what's going to go ahead and happen? Because we already know the building's going to get sold. But I'm going to wait till all that is finalized before I speak on him again. Okay. Furthermore, I'm going to definitely deal with that Jay Rello situation too. I hadn't forgotten about him. Oh, yeah. I'm going to sign off on his ass because if I get on these off-code chicks out here, I'm going to get on these off-code dusty dudes that's making, you know, giving foundational Black Americans a bad name abroad, even though he's an individual. Those are his actions. When I was off-code, we check them. Okay, that's the difference between us and Tether class. We don't just sit there and ignore our off-code. So just know a lot of stuff going to be coming up over here on the channel. Now, with that said, let's just go ahead and get straight into this particular part of this here tonight. I don't keep y'all too long. All right, I'm going to be using an overlay because, you know, the last time I got to burning them so damn bad on the first part, they're like, oh, stop him. Oh, my God. He's cooking too much. The heat is too hot. They had to hate. They're like, hey, they made some calls. They're like, shut it down. Y'all done see plenty of people cover this. No interruption. See, it's different over here. Okay. So we're going to get started giving them something else to worry about tonight, fam. If you hadn't already, go ahead and hit that like button, that share button. A lot of people remind me I don't hardly say that enough. Yeah. All right. Go ahead and hit the like button, share button. Should have hit on your way in. And I will say this to my new subscribers over here. Welcome to you all. We sitting at over 13,000 strong. I guess I must be talking about something y'all like to hear, huh? One thing you will never hear, and my day ones can attest to this, you will never hear me sing the hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal song, okay? Don't worry, I won't start sniffing like, hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal. I won't give y'all that. I don't like people that do that. I don't tell nobody else how to run their platform. Listen, I'll put it on the screen. You choose to contribute. You find value in what we do. That's cool. We appreciate your support. But I will not sing the hit the Cash App song like a gnat in your ear, okay? We don't believe in doing that over here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, no jokes. We're going to get straight to business here. Let's get into it.
Hi, Layla.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
I'm
to meet
Layla.
you.
I would actually argue that the Black working class is failing themselves. Wouldn't you agree that, you know, in order to get a job, in order to qualify for a certain position and an education system at a job, wouldn't you argue that it should be based off of qualifications and not your race or identity?
Let me go ahead and get started right here before Silly Seals gets to giving her rebuttal. See, I'm examining this from a slightly different point of view than most. All right, we don't do any sugarcoating over here. Family, let me tell y'all something. When you hear anybody, okay, whether it's foundational Black American freedmen or a non-FBA alike, when you are aware of your people's history in this country and what's done to Black folks, melanated folks, however you want to put it, the first sign of a defeated, colonized mind, and this is really bad if your men are doing this, because women, I'm not trying to be a chauvinist, but women are a little bit quicker to break under pressure. All right. So you expect them to capitulate in some cases more so than the men. But if your men start talking like that, all right, and I'm going to make it plain for the people that probably ain't going to get this, all right, your men start talking like she just did, and you see that there's a system at play victimizing your people, but the first thing you do is start blaming yourself, you have been mentally defeated and broken. Let me give it to you in a simple analogy. Everybody in here, I'm assuming, respects themselves, okay? I hope you do if you're over here. Now, if somebody punched you in your face hard enough to knock you flat on your ass, okay, you can see who did it. You get up. And instead of dealing with that person that put the hands on you, you go run around the block and hit somebody that didn't have a damn thing to do with you or with your assault there. That's cowardly, okay? The Tether class and anybody from our lineage talking like that when you clearly can see the history and present day of this country with our oppression, you start blaming yourself. Yeah, you either doing that on purpose because you get in a bag, or you've been broken. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to sound cruel to some people, but at this juncture and hour of our history, we don't have time to reach back and save anybody at all, okay? Somebody is off code at this point, it ain't nothing to do. You got to shake the dust off your feet and be like, okay, choose to follow, come on this way, but we ain't got time to wait. Salute to the good sister, Mrs. L, for the cash out. Thank you to her and the good brother, Sam. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. But at this junction of our history, anybody that's off cold, family, you don't have time. You don't have time nor resources. Let me tell you why, because I know there might be some new people over there. How could he say that? Let me talk to you, especially people of my lineage. Time is the most precious, non-renewable resource that any human has. Okay, you can get back all of the things, material possessions, etc. You cannot get back the time you lose. When you manage your time wisely, okay, you focus on the things that are most important to you. Okay, you don't waste time putting energy and effort into lost causes, especially when you're operating from a supply of strained resources. Okay, when I say resources, I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about your knowledge. Each and every one of you in here is skilled at some type of profession. Many of you are business owners. I know my audience very well. You do not have time to waste your precious gifts, like the Bible says, cast not thy pearls before swine, with people that have either one, chosen to sell out, or number two, they've been so mentally defeated and broken that they just figure, hey, well, if you can't beat them, I'll just capitulate and give up. I'm going to say it yet again. I've said it many times on this channel. For me, I respect my ancestors far too much to capitulate and give up. I really don't have that in me. I think that my spirit is fueled by not only the pride I have in my personal family and our complete ancestral history here, but the Most High fused me. So I don't have no quit in me. I just don't see it happening. Okay. But those that are on the opposite end of what I just described, those people right there, not only is there no way to like rehabilitate that, they are dangerous. And I'm going to tell you why. Coward will sell out his or her own people quicker than you can blink your eye and say your name. You understand? See, at this point, I'm glad they're coming out capitulating like this. We need to know who you are and designate you as a lost cause and leave you be. You need to become a pariah to our people. Because, see, if you're not going to stand up for justice for yourself, you need to stand up for justice for the future generations, the young black boys and girls that don't even understand the actual concept of someone hating them just because they were born the wrong color in this country. That's what I keep fighting for. You understand? They don't have, look, the average young black boy, black girl, they love everybody, man, especially they was raised in the foundation of Black American freedmen household, and many none of their brothers and sisters that's over here. Okay? They don't know anything about hatred or evil, but yet it exists. And we are the only thing between them and that evil that's in the world that's directed at our people, because to them, we were born the wrong color. Okay, so I just wanted to take the chance to describe that and read this disgusting heifer here, her rights, because see, I'm going to say something else. This might rub some people the wrong way. But whatever men that she's around, they're weak men. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. Even though it might be some sisters that might not like me saying this, if they're in the adult category and they actually hear and think about what I'm saying, they'll know the truth of it. Women actually get a measure, notice I said a measure, not all, but a great measure of their confidence and courage from their men. If their men are weak and they see them capitulating to our oppressors, hey, they're like, well, that's clearly the better man. Hey, what do I have to lose? I may well go over here on the winning team. There's a lot of sisters that are rooted in, ancestral pride of our lineage that would never do that. But then again, there's many that will. I posit to you that this heifer sitting in front of silly seals here is one of those weak-minded, weak-spirited women. Let's let it continue.
Never argued that. I've never argued that. That's not
I
the
know
case.
that you were saying that you would argue that it should be equal, right? So you're saying that there should be Black Americans in education systems, in jobs, but wouldn't you argue that they should be qualified for those positions and not just placed there because of their skin color?
I've never.
Oh yeah, let me stop her right here. Oh yeah, let me stop her right here and take this overlay down so you can see this face she's making. Okay, so listen. First of all, family and artists, let me ask you a question. What alternate multiverse version of America is she living in where Black people are just handed positions because of the color of our skin? Now, for me, since I've never been to this multiverse version of America that she's talking about, I'm hearing this one, okay, where I'm assuming most of all of you in my chat are, okay? And in this one, you have to be twice, even 3 times as good to get half as much on any job if you're a black person. I've said this many times. I'm not the only one that have said it. If you see a brother or sister in a prominent position, corporate America, wherever, they earn that. Oh, that's the real deal right there because they ain't giving you nothing. So I'm hoping that she's being paid. It's still disgusting. But if she really believes that, I'll be like, okay, cool. That's what you say, huh? Show me where there's droves of positions that black people are getting just because of color of our skin. Again, we've already debunked with the data on this channel about how black people were not the majority recipients of DEI. That was mostly going to white LGBTQ men and their women, okay? And every other group had double-digit percentages, black folks in the single-digit percentages. As far as that data, it is out there, okay? Yet they perpetuated that lie because, see, when you want to demonize something in America, you have to make black people the face of it, okay? As long as you make black people the face of anything you try to demonize in this country, you're going to be successful at it, okay, under this current system of white supremacy. So, family, I would like to know, am I off base with what I'm saying? Where is this alternate reality where, the black people, we show up black and we get the position? Where's this place at? Because I've never seen it in this America. This is what she's professing here, okay, with this goofy look on her face, all right? I'm going to tell you something, man. When it comes to certain types of cooning, the reason why I could never participate in this is because in the morning, when you wake up and look yourself in the mirror, how do you live with yourself knowing that you are a disgrace to your family name? Just saying anything, even if you know it's not true. See, some people have no integrity in this world. You understand? Some people don't even know what that is. It's not, and look, let me be clear on something else. While we talking about integrity, that is not something that's going to rub off on other people. Either you have it or you don't. I know a lot of people might disagree with that, but I'm telling you, either you have it or you don't. If you don't have it, you are not going to grow integrity from being around people. In fact, people that don't have any type of integrity, you allow them around people that do. Mark my words, there will be some betrayal, treachery, and sabotage, all right? So I just want y'all to pay attention to that and remember that. Let's let it continue.
Or disapprove that.
Okay, so
That's not what DEI is.
Okay.
Do you know that?
Well, I'm not talking about DEI right now. Well,
because you're suggesting that I suggested that somebody should get a job just because they're black. And I've never asserted anything like that.
I understand that you may not say that exactly, but a lot of the claims are, they're pointing to that.
No, it's not pointing to that. And so that is that I need to clear this up because it's a really important point. Okay. We live in a nation that has actively pedestaled white people. Can we all agree on that? That we
in the past, but not currently. So fair. Okay, so
and see, here's where it will benefit silly seals to be a student of Nearly Fuller Jr. because we all understand the 9 areas of people activity in the system of white supremacy in America. I would have asked the young coonette here, okay, because that's what she's auditioning for, Zaddy, and probably some Democrat or Republican shield position. I would have asked her, okay, you say that they was in the past and in the present. And I would have started running down all the examples of discrimination that's been backed by data and ask her, okay, well, why does this still exist? Why is there still redlining? Why is there still gerrymandering? Why is there gentrification? I would go on and on down the list, how they treat our black children in these public food systems, as I call them, okay? I would have made her stand on some business and give me some facts. You understand? And see, I want you to catch something else that she tried to do with Amanda Seals. I will give Amanda Seals credit for this. If you ever choose to debate one of these flunkies, okay, because I tend to go after the grandmaster teacher and ancestor, Dr. John Henry Clark's example. I only debate my equals, all others I teach. All right. Let me tell you something. Be very tight about your words because she tried to say, well, you didn't say that exactly. And Amanda Seals immediately stopped her and said, no, I didn't say that at all. Okay. And look, and be looking out for that stream that I'm going to do going over those car road talking points because everything that these Republican shields are using, I recognize it from that playbook, okay? I'm going to make that a separate broadcast, all right? I might premiere that sometime soon, so be looking out for that on the channel because I want all of you to be aware of those tactics. So that way you already know what to expect when they come trying to troll with this disingenuous garbage, okay? Because most of them don't believe the crap that's coming out of their mouth. Most of them don't. Most of them are hoping to get some type of favor with the Republican Party. Same thing with the Democrat shills. Especially, we've all put the information out there about chorus and what's going on with that. You better understand that the right wing of the political atmosphere has their own funding sources that will pay their shields as well, okay? All of these little raccoons and coonettes are competing to get a piece of that little crumb that Massa's flicking off the table. Not even a whole pie, a piece of a crumb. See, let me talk to you about something real quick. One thing about Democrat and Republican shields, do you think that they're loyal to each other? Let me tell you something. Every one of these Sambozos and Sambits in this room here would tear each other apart if a Republican higher up in that party said, hey, we got $100,000 a year position for you. You know, it's only one. Man, do you, boy? It would be like throwing some red meat in a pit of lions. They would tear each other apart. You know what I'm saying? Cooning and buffooning and fight. I'm telling you, hey, it wouldn't be Mortal Kombat. It would be Mortal Coonbat. That's what it would be. So let it continue.
How many black people are part of this administration's cabinet?
I'm not sure. Can you tell me? Can you fill me in?
Zero.
Oh.
Who?
So seems like there may be a couple.
That's not a cabinet.
I don't know.
Scott Turner.
Okay.
So there are. So we got two.
So there are.
So we got two.
Can
we got
also,
two. We got two. So back to your point, DEI is about expanding.
Oh yes. Okay.
Not lowering credibility.
Okay.
So if we have a system that has very actively said these particular people are the best people simply because of their race, DEI said, or their gender.
Okay.
Because DEI mostly leveled up white women.
Okay. So it would be incorrect.
White women, white LGBTQ, okay? Don't forget the Asians classified as white. The Hispanics classified as white, East Indians classified as white, the Arabs, so on and so forth. Black people, by the numbers, are at the bottom of those programs in the single digits. Moreover, we did not ask for any DEI programs, no matter how much the white supremacists and politicians try to tout that. And the good sister Ms. Zell brought up a great point in the chat room. She says she must not know about FBA resumes being thrown in the trash based upon some of our names sounding too black. Amen, sister. Exactly. See, you know what? I got to say this. And shout out to Mr. Sam, man. He got a real one on his team. That sister, Mrs. L, is absolutely brilliant. Look, I wish sisters like that were here on this panel. Man, they would tear them to pieces. I've heard this sister hold her own, making points plenty of times, you know what I'm saying, when I've had my spaces, etc. Very brilliant sister, man. So shout out to Mr. Sam. He has a real one on his team, man. And see, this is what we need in our community. More people like that sister, Ms. Zell, in the chat. And many of you that are over here. See, we are in a time now where we are declaring what we're going to do. We're not debating anybody about it. But if the need arises, mostly for the example of our young people, we do have the intellectual capacity to debunk all these things and let them know what's going on so that they're not caught up in these types of talking points. Because see, when I do the broadcast on Mr., and I use the term loosely, Frank Zanu coming up, okay, that buffoonish Tether, I'm going to show you a dirty trick that he tries to use, okay, particularly with young people. Oh, trust me, y'all not going to want to miss that broadcast. Just let it continue.
If it's, if we're pointing toward this, a majority of race is qualified because of the skin, the base of their skin color.
Absolutely, yeah. Whether they're white, black.
Okay,
I mean, race is fake anyway.
Now, I do want to touch on a point that you did mention earlier, that you would argue that, black people have less opportunities in America. I do not agree with that. I have not had,
First of all, you're a light-skinned woman.
And so are you.
Yes.
And you're doing great for yourself.
Yes, and so colorism really does serve us.
I do want to say, why do you think that is, though?
Let me go ahead and challenge that right now, okay? Let me go ahead and challenge that. Now, this is where I disagree with Amanda Seals and this silly coonette that's over here, okay? First of all, colorism may mean something amongst the black community as far as dating. If you have somebody that prefers lighter skinned people, etc., that doesn't do you worth a hill of beans in corporate America with white folks. They don't give a fuck about that. All they know is you black, okay? That's it. So, see, you can kind of tell how both of them are detached from reality as far as that talking point. I get it. Yes, colorism is a real thing, but it don't mean shit to the white man. It's the one drop rule with them. Dark skin, jet, triple blue black, light skin, light bright, next to white. You black in America. See, a lot of these tethers in this room, because a lot of them are tethers, not all, but a lot of them are, where they come from, they think that being lighter skinned is a big deal. Okay? Nah, white supremacists, all they see is black. And see, many of them get they snap and catch they snap and get their wake up call when they come over here to America. And you know, some of them really do believe that. But see, here's a question I would ask anybody like Amanda Seals that says, well, colorism helps you out. Yeah, amongst some black people, maybe? Yeah. Amongst them white folks in the jobs? No. I would ask them this. Show me an example of a slew of light skin, or men and women in black America that are just killing the game. I'm talking about, man, if that's the case, man, we should see a ton of Fortune 500 CEOs. Okay, I mean, I'm talking about everywhere you look, where there's prominent positions, it should be the lighter skinned person. You don't see that. They treat us all the same. So that's something you have to watch when they start going towards this colorism argument. That doesn't give us any advantage. Our shade doesn't give us no advantage in this country if we black, all right, at all. And if you are actually biracial, oh, they really don't trust you. Oh, no. Boy, let me tell you something. This is why I have the utmost respect and show love to our biracial brothers and sisters, because we know here in America, you black, that are on code, because I know what they have had to go through. I'm not biracial at all. You know what I'm saying? But I can empathize with my brothers and sisters that are, especially if they're one white parent, one black parent. Hey, listen, if you on code with us, man, we got your back. All right. Once you don't come out your mouth pulling the Dominican, I know black poppy. All right. Hey, because once I hear that, it's permanent with me. Ain't no coming back from that. Let me tell you something. That is a cardinal sin to me. I can't speak for anybody else in my chat room. But if I hear a melanated person, I know black. All right, bet. I respect what you declared. And I believe you too. And I'm going to believe you permanently. Ain't no changing it with me. Because see, we don't have time to play these kinds of games with people that want to hopscotch in and out of being black with these dual allegiances. No. I don't tolerate that, because I'm an avid student of history. And again, as I said many times, I understand how history correlates to present day. So I don't play those kinds of games, allowing people to hopscotch in and out of blackness. You over here on the black side, you can go back over there to whatever side you think you can get in where you can fit in. So let it continue.
Why do you think that? Do you think it's just based off the color of our skin, or do you think it's based off of the reputation that black people make for themselves?
What reputation are black people making for themselves?
What would you argue? Because I mean, when I look at
who makes the reputation for black people?
Let's look at music, for example.
We already had this conversation with somebody else.
Well, we're gonna have it again. Most of the people that
are we?
Most of the people.
I'm gonna shut it down right now and let you know that the reality is that when you come to black music, for you to say most of the people, you've already lost the argument.
Am I right?
There is no most of the people with black people, because you haven't heard of all of black music.
Most of the music that is, let's say, maybe exalted or shown by the media, right?
And who controls those systems?
It defiles black Americans. But who's putting it out there? We are black. We're the ones putting it out there.
The distribution systems that are putting them out there are owned by white people.
Who listens to them? Because I can bet you most of my friends, my black friends that are not conservative, they listen to that music that defiles their bodies. That talks about black on black crime and.
Now, let me go ahead and stop it right here, because now I will give Silly Seals credit. Okay, even though she's a plant Democrat Seal, Democrat Shield, I'll give her credit with this. You always center it back to white supremacy, because they run the nation and they run the systems in this country. I would have been very direct. I'll be like, no, black people don't run these record labels. Okay, black people are not the controlling executives nor the majority shareholders at these record labels. Okay. That's your Leo Cohen's, all right, and all the rest of them. All right, we know the names, don't we? I could be here all night naming, the Alabaster Serpent Man that control that particular entity, shall we call it, because it's a demonic entity. Now, as far as the culpability and accountability on the black artist part, okay? Yes, we definitely hold them accountable for making that degeneracy, especially the ones of them that have come out and said that they wouldn't let their children or their brothers or sisters listen to that degeneracy that they sell to our community. So I agree with holding them accountable for that. But one thing I will say about them, and this is where I get on them, everybody's heard these statements and saying that all money ain't good money. And that's the problem amongst some of our people that's selling out. Do anything for a dollar. Because right now, tomorrow, if everybody in this country wanted to hear music about peace, happiness, and love, that's exactly what they would start making. It's not that they care about that. They'll be like, oh, this is what sells. Hey, let's start having everybody make this. Okay? So since it's being rewarded, and you can look at the theory of supply and demand, that factors in too. So I won't completely deny that, but I always look at who's in control because let's just face it. Let's just go ahead and shut it down. I'm going to shut it down in a better way than Amanda Seals did. Okay? Let's just say white folks are like, oh my God, all that black nigger music is the problem. Oh, it's just so degenerate. And by the way, if they say that, hey, have you heard death metal, and all of that? Oh, don't get me started about that degenerate music. I can keep going with that. But let's just, for devil's advocate's sake, go with we the problem, okay? Nigger music is the problem. That's how they call it, right? Call it what they say. If that's the problem and you really want to shut it down, hey, you run all of the government. Executive branch, legislative branch, judicial branch. All three of them branches of government, we don't go and say, nope. You record labels cannot push this kind of music. We ain't gonna let you put it out. Okay, now we all know that would be challenged by the First Amendment in this country, but I'm just saying if they wanted to do that and shut that down, they could. They don't because it's profitable to them and they've figured out how to weaponize that amongst the weak-minded in our community that may or may not have parents there to monitor what they're listening to before a certain age and teach them about, hey, listen, if you're going to and listen to this, it's entertainment. That's it. Okay. So I can be balanced with my, view of this, but all of this trying to say, oh, we're our own worst enemy. That's basically what she's saying. You know what I'm saying? Without saying it, we are our own worst enemy. We're so degenerate. Our music is a problem. Let me tell you something, right? I'm going to give you something else to shut that down with for the younger people that might be listening to this broadcast live and record. Family, if you go back to the Jim Crow era and before that, there was no degenerate hip hop music. There was no hip hop at all. Okay. We weren't talking about drugs, wasn't talking about killing each other, etc. Did that stop the white supremacists from lynching our ancestors? See, this is where you have to go when people try that crap. Most of our elders and ancestors were dressed decent, law-abiding, hard-working people. Did that stop them from lynching us? So when they try to blame how we're treated in this society or try to make music, that degenerate hip-hop music, no. If somebody hates you, there's nothing you can do to change their mind about you, okay? They hate us because we were born the wrong color. That's it. That's all. So much so that many of them that don't live nowhere around black people are always trying to find ways to come see. Y'all know what I'm finna say, right? Say it with me. What are the blacks doing? What are the blacks doing? They're obsessed, demonically obsessed with black people. Because you would think about it. If you live in a white condon utopia, yes, I said white condon. If you live in a white condon utopia, nowhere around black people, and you really hate black folks that much, the last thing in the world that I want to do is check up on something I hate. I'll be like, oh, thank God I'm so far away from them. I don't have to see them. They don't even exist today unless I go looking for them. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some lily white states in this country that ain't no black people in. Even if they are, they in the single digits to the point where you can just stay completely away from them. You won't ever have to see them at all. But yet, these demonically obsessed people, they're always trying to find ways to come and see what the blacks doing and demonize us. I'm like, that's how you know they are too far gone to even try to reason with. I don't even view them as human beings, not no white supremacists. Now, if you're a white person and you're not a white supremacist, hey, I ain't got no problem with you. But you white supremacists are less than human. You're degenerate demons posing as human beings. And see, these are your little pets. Like this little tether winch right here and all the rest of this circle of tethers. Okay, tethers and sound bozos and sound bits. These are your little pets right here that come out here and do your bidding for Scooby snacks, all right? But, those of us that have connection to the Most High, we're not going to be your little pets. We're going to oppose your unjust system of white supremacy and replace it with a system of justice. Let it continue.
Everybody else. But if we don't acknowledge that they are not in the same way pursuing white voices talking about the same thing, even though they are, we simply like to start at the branches of a tree and not at the root. We have to understand that the media is king. Okay, media is king,
and media does not favor conservatism. I can tell you that right now. I mean, look at the protests right now in Los Angeles.
Depending on who is in office, media does.
Oh, let me jump in here on Amanda Seals and her opposition. See, family, let me say something, especially to the new people that are over here. You're gonna learn something about your brother if you hadn't checked the description box. All my day ones, you know where I'm going with this. Media is not about favoring the left, air quotes, or the right, air quotes. Foundational Black American freedmen that are on code and on code non-FBA brothers and sisters don't play that ping pong back and forth between the left and the right. Media in America serves white supremacy across the board. That's what media in America serves. If you are a melanated fool talking about left and right, these people put those terms on them and take them off like socks and jackets. If you don't believe me, just look at a list of your politicians that flip and flop from Democrat to Republican, depending on what their interests are, depending on which lobbyist is paying them the most money, depending on what they can get for themselves. That Republican Democrat crap, that's political theater. That's smoke and mirrors for the intellectually incompetent that doesn't have the brain capacity to understand when they're being played right in front of their faces. See, that's why we don't play that the left, the right. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never said in these blunt terms, but I'm gonna say it here tonight. When I hear anybody, a black person, especially my lineage, talking about the left and the right, I look at you as too dangerous to be around me, because that means you are hopelessly stupid. And stupidity is dangerous, okay? I'm not talking about ignorance. Ignorance is if you don't know any better. You stupid enough to think that one side, one political party is better than the other or for us more than the other. You are insane. All you have to do is look at how they work hand in hand on Capitol Hill. Neither one of them is trying to do anything to empower or help black folks without their hands being forced by the grassroots. They don't do that, okay? They don't. So this is how I know this little old Muppet baby looking buffoon over here on the right-hand side of this screen. Okay, well, they both look like Muppet babies. Actually, Amanda Seals looks like a Fraggle. She does. And that, you know what? Jim Henson did create the Fraggle, so I guess they're both Muppet babies. Nonetheless, I digress. The one on the right, though, she really look like she campaigning for Zaddy, okay? She does. She got that little Zaddy gobble gremlin monster look on her face. She does, okay? I mean, you can tell. It's like, if you got the coon and buffoon that hard, I got to go here. If you got the coon and buffoon that hard, as a foundational Black American freedman woman to get Zaddy, Zaddy wants you anyway. Hell, if you want Zaddy, man, all you got to do is just tickle his ears with a couple of little smooth lines. That let me know that you don't have no type of talk game about yourself as a woman. I mean, if you want him, you ain't got the coon to get him, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I guarantee you probably got a little old white man just sucking all the spirit and soul out of him. I mean, look, boy. Yeah, maybe that's why she's so damn pale. Anyway, I digress. Let it continue.
Favor them.
I mean, we have Trump in office right now, and media is not favoring Trump at all.
Media is absolutely not favoring Trump in certain spaces because Trump is also not favoring that particular type of media. But it depends on the day. And we have to acknowledge that regardless of whether you talk conservatism or not, media has never favored black people at any point.
All right, guys, that's time. You've been voted out.
Thank you.
At any point.
Now, Amanda Seals brought up a good point there. Mainstream media, which is why we have new black media, mainstream media has never, ever favored foundational Black American freedmen people in this country, nor any melanated people, to be honest with you. It never has, it never will. No matter how much you jump on the left or the right, it serves white supremacy, okay? All media has a function and a purpose. The purpose of the American media is to be the fourth estate of government for pushing propaganda for whatever they choose to push, all right? And most of it is anti-black. Most of it is anti-black. So I will give Amanda Seals credit for that. Let's let it continue.
Thank you.
I'm back. So let's talk about facts. I just want to move back to systemic racism because you mentioned systemic racism earlier. I just want to look at 3 applications of systemic racism against white people and against East Asians as well. So for example, we have the National College Attainment Network, which defines affirmative action or even race-conscious admissions as taking race.
This little old pepperhead Angolan Tether with that fucked up haircut. See, wait till I get on Frank Zanu because, see, Frank Zanu was just like him when he was young, okay? Make no mistake about it. Frank Zanu was just like this little old pepperhead Angolan Tether here. He was young, okay, with them bookshots all around the side of his head. Hell, boy, if you ain't gonna get a decent lineup, pick that shit out or brush it down. Do something with it, man. But I digress. He doesn't know enough about what he's talking about because anytime you bring up affirmative action just because you heard that around your little white supremacist buddies because you're the black friend that they can talk stupid around, not knowing that they're talking about your stupid ass too, they respect you less than black Americans. You don't understand that affirmative action, just like the so-called DEI, benefited mostly white women. That gets to dip in and out of these different programs as a double minority and the white LGBTQ community. So you talking about racism against white people, where is it? I can't tell. What group of people in this country are oppressing white people to the point that they've had to suffer under Jim Crow-like circumstances, had to suffer under the black codes like we did? There are people as a mass, as a whole, had to suffer under mass incarceration, all right? They're not the targets of the prison industrial complex. We are. I need to find where all this systematic racism is against white people and all this systematic oppression. Now, they want to be victims so bad, or they'll find anything to cry about. All right, boy, listen, speaking of crying, boy, have y'all seen, boy, I got them hurt over there in my YouTube short section. They are so mad. They are so mad. Look, let me talk to the white supremacists real quick before I get back to educating my people. Hello, white supremacists. How you doing? I know you're over here to see what are blacks doing. Hi, I'm talking to you. Yeah, we know you're over there in the clouds listening and watching. You probably playing this back. We don't give 2 shits about anything you think over here. I'm not your pal. I'm not your buddy. I teach my people over here on my platform not to even go back and forth with you because you're basically, about to be in a museum exhibit somewhere. Okay, them little struggle genes are struggling. It's not my fault. I didn't make the decisions. Nature has spoken and decided to correct its mistake, okay? It has. That's the beautiful thing about Mother Nature. It's patient, kind, but it does correct its mistakes naturally, okay? So you on your way out of here. And, I don't want my people arguing with the equivalent of ghosts, all right? See, because sometimes, our people get passionate and want to argue back and forth with you. See, I'm a platform that discourages that. I'm like, what are you talking to these people for? These degenerates are on their way out of here and they're cannibalizing each other. Look, they're so white supremacists and anti-black racists that they won't even put the National Guard in their community to stop their little scooter shooters that's running around here. We seen what just happened with Robert Westman. Yes, I said Robert. I'm not calling him by a woman's name. He's a him. Okay, I don't use the pronouns over here. So what I'm saying is people, my people, even if you're not LBA, I say my people. You on code? Don't argue back and forth with a white supremacist unless you figure out a way that's beneficial to you. If it's not adding to your bottom line, if you're not getting paid to argue back and forth with them, I always want you to stop and think, why are you arguing with a people that loves to kiss dogs in the mouth, tell you that not taking a shower is healthy? Yet they have these high IQs. See, sometimes you got to stop and look at the old saying, never argue with a fool, because from a distance, people can't tell who's the fool and who's not. You both look like fools. So I discourage over here. I just want to give that heartfelt message to my white people.
Maybe I should have used the snake voice. Maybe that, because, white supremacists, that's what you represent. A snake. That's right, a snake. This is how you sound. My great-grandfather passed it down and told us that if your little pink, thin earthworm lips are moving, you're lying. Lying. Oh, I thought we snakes couldn't be trusted. You're the original liars. Yes, you are.
Oh, y'all know I just felt like bringing out the snake for no reason. But anyway, we're going to get back to this little old pepperhead Angolan Tether here with this bullshit. Let's let it continue.
as one of the factors in whether or not you're going to admit a student. And we noticed that when race-conscious admissions was out of it, black enrollment dropped 64% at UC Berkeley. And that is an act of systemic racism. Trying to look at people's races and allow them into colleges whether or not they're of a set race is racism.
By the way, that's a fake stat that he just gave. You can go and pull them numbers up, by the way. You know what I'm saying? That's a fake stat. See, look, here's the thing, right? And let me talk to you white supremacists. I'm going to do you a solid. I rarely ever do this. I'm going to do you a solid tonight. If you're going to choose these little bootlegs, because they're really not useful anymore since we've decided to delineate and got no code, because now we can tell, you know what I'm saying, where you're from. We asking where you're from. You're giving yourself away with these little janky-ass hairlines and fucked up little knot peasy-ass heads up here. Okay, we can tell you. And your cricket wig Tether witches too. We haven't forgot about them. All right? Let me do you a solid, white supremacists. If you're going to send out some type of, opposition towards us, you need to make sure they're intelligent enough to give rebuttals with things that can't be easily looked up and debunked, okay? See, and I shouldn't be doing this, but hey, I'm going to be somewhat nice to them tonight because, at this point, it's pathetic. If you're going to have some opposition sent our way, you better kind of cast aside that notion that all black people are unintelligent. Oh, that's not going to help you, Giblet. It's not, because contrary to popular belief, many of my people are vastly more superior and intelligent than most of you are. And you know that because this is why you have to have systems in place to cheat our people. Okay? When we are left alone, unsabotaged, you have to compete head up, you fail every time. And not just with sports. Academia, corporate America, blue collar jobs, you name it, you fail when you have to compete without an artificial cheat system or cheat code, okay? So, you need to get some people that are a little more skilled with playing with numbers, so at least if you're going to lie, tell a half-truth. You see, look, I'll give you the blueprint. Y'all going to think I'm crazy for this. And I don't know what compels me to do it. I'm just going to see if they can make, sending their opposition a little bit more interesting. The blueprint for what I just said would be Candace Owens. Okay, she mixes a little bit of truth in with some bullshit, okay? There you go. And look, Candace needs some money right now because, she's being sued for, a lot of her running that mouth. And boy, y'all better not let me find out that George Farmer, that husband of hers, divorces her because they lose that lawsuit. If it happens, let me tell you something. Go holler at Candace and drop her back. She need it because she going to need it for them legal fees. So, that's the last I'm going to help you white supremacists, okay? But might want to go back and, catch this part of the broadcast and kind of, send that over there to your people because you come over here and see what the blacks are doing. That's the only one you get for free. Let it continue.
It's race conscious. And Martin Luther King's most famous quote is that he doesn't want his children to be judged based on race, but by the content of their character. And the content of people's characters also includes merit. We have another example of systemic racism, Burgess Owens.
That's another thing I hate because he's gotten that from the white supremacists as well. You pull Martin Luther King and misquoting our grandmaster teacher and ancestor and icon out your ass, misquoting him. Always talking about content of people's character. See, let's go here for a second, okay? Content of character. If we were all judged by that, all white supremacists would be in prison if there was a law. Who has less or more bad character than the white supremacist community, which is the greater majority of white folks in America? Yes, that's right. I said it. Anything over 50% is most, and it's most of you, okay? So if we're talking about judging people out of the content of their character, ooh, boy, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you who is going to judge most of you white supremacists by the content of your character, whether you believe in them or not. The Most High is. Oh, yes, you're going to bust hell wide open. See, black people don't have to do nothing to you. You're almost out of here for many reasons. Why do you think that the little struggle genes are struggling, huh? That ain't got nothing to do with black people. Oh, the Most High has cursed your ability to successfully reproduce. This is why the numbers are dwindling. Yeah, I'm talking about your global numbers. Or that 7% is going to be 5% pretty soon, and that shit is going to disappear to zero. And then look, hey, you brought this on yourself. Because believe it or not, if you wasn't so wicked and so far gone, you still got time to repent, but you won't do that. Okay, that's cool. Most High going to learn you. It ain't got nothing to do with what I say. I'm just reporting the news, baby. I'm sitting back with popcorn watching. Yeah. But anyway, if he's going to quote Dr. Martin Luther King, why don't you quote when he was saying we're coming to get our checks? See, they cherry pick that part of Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy as if that's all that there was to him. Okay, Notice they don't go quoting Malcolm X about nothing, because there's no way to cherry pick anything from Malcolm, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Joseph Ben Jochannan, Dr. Francis Chris Wilson, Neely Fuller Jr. Man, you can't look. They can't cherry pick nothing from Dr. Clark Anderson, Professor James Small, Dr. Randy Short, Shahrazad Ali. Come on now, Dr. Cowboy Cabinet. Yeah, man. You notice that? They ain't cherry picking none of our grandmaster teachers and icons, whether they're no longer here or still amongst the living, like some of those names I called. They know better to play those games. So let me tell you something. Speaking of Dr. Cowboy Cabinet and many of those other elders, let me tell you something about Dr. Cowboy. One of the things I love about that elder is where he's ever taken on or been in discourse with the white supremacists to debunk them. It is such a masterclass to listen to and watch and observe. You hear me? He does it skillfully, very calmly, with facts about history and present day that they cannot deny. Now, I've seen that elder countless times leave them speechless. Oh, man, y'all don't understand, man. Make sure you're putting your young ones up on our elders and grandmaster teachers' work, man. Let it continue.
He's a representative out of Utah. He's a black Republican representative. He called out the MIT president for having black-only dormitories. I mean, what does that mean? Why are we trying to segregate each other and say that black people feel safer amongst black people when the truth is they're actually more in danger when they're around black people? And that's unfortunate. It's sad that I'm saying this, but it's the case, and I have to say it because
he's lost his ever-loving mind. See, let me put his face back up here for a second. Hold on. Put his food back. Well, the back is a little piece of head. That's probably all we need to see anyway. The back's a little piece of head. Listen, that lie that he just told, family, because I'm going to cover that over on Patreon too, by the way, because I can't show that on YouTube because of the violence of it. But y'all saw the clip floating around of that little black boy, okay, that was accosted by those white supremacist thugs and cowards, little 14-year-old boy. These big overgrown white supremacist teenagers look like they 17, 18, just all of them. Ain't even giving them a fair one, just all over them. Well, no black people around then. See, these idiot tethers like this, and this is most of their parents' fault, they think that moving around a bunch of white people and you sitting there cooning buffoon, that means you safe. No, you're behind enemy lines, dumbass. And when the white supremacists decide to pick a nigga, yeah, like back in the day, where the term picnic come from, you're it. Because you're in close proximity behind enemy lines. See, a lot of them had to learn that the hard way. Look at Christian Openselli with Courtney Clinton. Oh, all this, Akata this, Akata that, yeah, While you was looking at the Akata, you should have been paying attention to that alabaster that was sitting over there looking at your ass as if something she wanted to practice her crochet and knitting skills on, okay? Because she pin cushioned your ass up. Same thing with Tilvin Osborne, that is supposed to be from our lineage. Oh, black bitches this, black bitches that, blah, blah, blah. Yep, you got shot in the chest by your alabasters. Boy, I keep telling y'all, man, it ain't nothing they can do for me. They are the most destructive creatures on God's green earth. And if you don't believe me, look at their men. Why you think their men have problems with them like that? They know what kind of demonic creatures their women are. Yeah, I said it. I'm looking at what they've done historically. A lot of people, when we talk about the Ku Klux Klan, they forget that there was an entire female division of the Ku Klux Klan. I'm going to take it even further. Let's get right here in the present day. Some of the most vitriolic and vile anti-black racist demons are these white supremacist teachers in these schools, the female. Oh, they hate our children with a passion. You understand? Yes. So this is where we stick at when we talk about things like this. We stick in reality. This goofy tether right here, I've seen him clicked up with a Charlie Baby T, Wyatt Gums Kirk. Oh, yeah. Trust me. He gonna learn real quick what the rest of the white supremacists think about him. Because, see, let me talk to you tethers for a second before I let this continue. You really don't know how to read the room or the sign of the times here. Your role of being useful for being the anti-black mouthpiece for white supremacists, that's coming to an end. Because, see, again, I will give Nick Fuentes credit. He's not the only one that feels the way he feels about the Jason Whitlocks, etc., taking money out there off their table and out their pocket. They don't want you to say that. They're in a time period where they want to be able to say those things. They don't want to have to use a mouthpiece anymore. See, you need to understand something, tethers. The dwindling numbers of the white supremacists, that's not just a biological fact. It's messing with them psychologically. When you feel like you on your last legs and you got to take your last stand, you get desperate. And this is where they are now. So they really don't have any use for you. In fact, I'm going to tell y'all something. Mark my words, family. There's going to come a time, and we already starting to see signs of it. There's going to come a time where all these bootlicking tethers that's kissing white ass, or the white supremacists are going to turn on them with a vitriolic fury that you've never seen. And you're going to be like, that brother told me. I'm going to tell you why. Because, see, you got to understand something. They know not to come and try a group of black folks. They know better than that. They have to try to ambush us. Sooner or later, they're going to want to take that out on something. See, you look. The reason why they just haul off and do things to certain black people that hadn't done it to them, that includes you tellers, that you bootlicking anti-black tellers. Reason why they turn on you like that is because, hey, if they can't get their hands on the black people they want, well, you right here next to them. And you be thinking that all this cooning and samboing you done put in, that gets you a safety pass. Oh, Giblet. Oh, just you keep on waking up in the morning, they're going to show you better than any of us can tell you. Let it continue.
It's true, okay? Black people are killing each other at a vast, crazy rate. Black men rapping about it. It's savagery. It's barbaric. And we shouldn't be doing it as a people. We should try to get more Ben Carsons. Ben Carson's cousins were murdered when he was younger, but his mother came to him. And
first of all, that's another talking point they love to use about, oh, we just killing each other. Yes, we got people killing each other in our community, but they act like we're the only people killing each other. White people kill each other every day. Do I even have to bring up Robert Westman again as the most recent example? Let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about folks killing each other. The greater majority of these mass shootings is targeting their future, their children, and that's a shame. Let me tell you something. I don't want to see anybody's children get killed, not even white folks' kids, especially if they're innocent. You know? They can't even go and worship in their churches without having to worry about being shot. Now you think about that. That's not Pookie and Ray Ray going over to the white community shooting up no kids. They ain't even doing that in the black community. Asians are killing each other here. East Indians, Arabs. But the only press that gets magnified is anytime something happens with a black person killing another black person. Let me go in for any Sambos that might be watching. Well, why don't y'all march when black people kill each other like y'all did when it's a red soldier? Listen, first of all, we don't have to march to get black people punished because, hey, they don't have a system of white supremacy protecting them like these anti-black racists. That's why we don't have to march, okay? See, the asinine talking points, I know them all. Just wait till I do that broadcast covering that Karl Rove doctrine there, yeah. Because y'all need to be familiar with that if y'all not, all right? But see, this clown here, you can tell that he's been groomed by me. Look, I'm going to go here with it, too. I hate to be this guy, but I got to go here. When you see a male samboing that hard for them folks, okay? You see him samboing that hard, chances are, I want you to look at the boy face, okay? Look at him. He might be a little twink, y'all. Yeah, I'm using their terminology. Yes, I am. He might be a little twink. It's probably some white dude that cornered him off somewhere and started touching on him. That's what I'm thinking. He probably has an affinity for white men. I wouldn't be surprised if that come on out, okay? Because you're not going to tell me there's no woman of any race that's dealing with this little old peasy head, fucked up hairline dweeb right here, okay? This is what he is. Even if you're going to say that shit and be cooning like this boy, because he's a boy, I got to call him with you need to do with some masculinity to yourself. Little old smooth, clean shaven face, okay? That boy look like a testicle with hair on top. That's what he look like, man. Little buffoon, you. It ain't no woman that respect that shit, man. Not even the white women you trying to impress. You got to have some type of masculinity to you. So I'm just saying, man, I believe the boy right here, yeah, he probably, he's probably a bussy bandit. Okay, he's on the SS Bussy Fontaine or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm going to leave it right there. So let's continue.
Gave him a book and told Ben Carson to read and study to not be like his cousins. And Ben Carson separated two twins at the back of the head, and he's known as one of the best renowned neurologists or neuroscientists that we've ever seen, right?
Ben Carson said that slaves were immigrants.
Well, they were brought here to the United States, and many of them.
Oh yeah, there we go with that. I remember when Ben Carson said that too. Let me say something, okay? I want to tell this to get this through their head because the white people know it. White folks know it. Look, tell the boy, you an immigrant. We not. We're not immigrants, okay? We are not immigrants. I hate to break it to you. We have been here since the foundation of this country, hence foundational Black American freedmen. Your people are not foundational to anywhere over here, okay? You foundational to Angola. That's what you foundational to. You need to have a conversation with your parents of why y'all not anchored over there, okay? Little anchor baby boy. That's what you are. Over here eating off our plate and have the audacity to let you. Because, see, you know, family, I'm one of the few people that y'all hear that will brutally drive that point right back in their face, okay? Because you have to remind them, especially the men, that you don't have any right to hold your head up with pride if you fled your homeland, especially if it's not a wartime situation where you're running for your life. I would give you a pass on that. But if your country is fine and you can be there and you should be building, and you ran, sometimes in larger numbers than your women and children, don't you ever compare yourself to the same level of manhood as myself, especially those of us that fought for this country. Oh, no, I don't tolerate that. No, look, why you think when I'm on other people's platforms, man, when I'm talking to them, I'm completely disrespectful? I don't need, look, I have more respect for children because they basically the equivalent of children sitting at a grown folks table, waiting for us to cut up their steak and food and feed them something, little parasites. That's what I look at them as. And this is a worthless parasite right here. I'm going to tell you, whoever this boy's father is, you failed, man. You failed. That I would be depressed every day if I produced something like this, okay? Book dancing, sell out, kissing the white ass, all right? That, you know, and well, he might be doing something else with white ass, we don't know. But anyway, like I said, that type of cooning right there is pathetic, man. Hey, so now we not immigrants, buddy. That's your people. Stop projecting. Accept your reality. It's not ours. Let's let it continue.
We're slaves, and we know that to be a fact.
What is the difference between someone being an immigrant and being a stolen person?
I mean, I understand that many people were stolen here, but 90% of historians agree that
we were not stolen. We were sold. We were sold. We were sold.
Slavery would have not been possible if black slave owners within Africa didn't sell off their people. White people didn't show up and just start stealing people. They didn't do that. That's not how that worked.
Now, he actually got that part right. I'll give him credit when he makes a fair point. That's actually rooted in some truth.
Literally did that.
But they didn't. They worked with black owners and the Arabs.
They literally did that.
It's funny,
and Arabs did that as well. And I think it's very important. And I think it's important to note that there is an oversimplification of history as well as of black people in Africa. There's a failure to acknowledge that in Africa, black people did not consider themselves black people. That was a racial distinction that was solely created by white oppressors.
Whether they did or not, Amanda, I will give the little Sambozo credit. Those continental African kingdoms that were over there that are no longer in existence now because, after the Berlin Conference, that's when they got their modern day names as far as their countries. All right. He spoke the truth about them having African collaborators. All right. We know that. We know history about that very well. There's a lot of white supremacists keep trying to come over and talk about that. You don't know about the history of the Barbary Coast. No, we know our history very well. It's just that you're not allowed to have any conversation over here. You're actually worth it. You need to be trying to figure out how to get them struggle genes up. Okay. So for the white supremacists that keep on trying to run over here and make that comment. And I got something for them on the next Children of the Chalk too. Ho, 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 ho. Because they want attention, I'm going to give it to them. Boy, I guess they don't know about that series over here, family. Oh, just wait till the next one. It's coming soon. The next one coming this month here. Ooh. Oh, that's all I'm going to say about that. But anyway, back to little old Tether boy here. See, here's the thing. When it comes to what happened, we tell the truth whether it's difficult to hear or not, okay? And the reason why I'm a big proponent of that is because when you lay all your cards on the table, dealing with history and present day, the only way to successfully navigate into the future is to deal with reality as it is. Not how you feel it should be, not how you wish it was, not how you want it to be. No. Put all the cards on the table and say, okay, this is what we're dealing with. This is what happened then. This is what's going on now. This is the correlation between the two. Let's start working with solutions to problems from there. Okay? That's what I'm a proponent of. Yes, it's the military man in me. It is, okay? Because look, when you are out on deployment on any combat scenario, you can't deal with feelings and things that you wish and hope. Oh, no. You have to deal with what's really in front of you in order to actually pull out what you're trying to do there as far as accomplishing whatever mission or operation that you're on. minute that you start dealing with things from the context of outside of reality, you place yourself and everybody else around you in danger. And that's just something I was taught to operate off of. And I continue to do that here amongst my people. This is why I try to teach those things, especially for the younger people having to find their way to this platform. But we're going to let this little silly Sambozo here continue.
To legitimize slavery.
Arab oppressors, actually. The Arabs did it in the 7th century. They were the first ones.
They did not name it under blackness. They simply just decided we're going to go and have enslavers. This was a decision that was actualized and then tried to be pushed forward through eugenics. Literally, there was an executive order that was passed a few months ago that said that Donald Trump wants to now control the museums because he wants to take back control of the narrative around race. And in one of these museums that they cited was that there was a display that speaks about race not as a biological thing, but as something that has just been created as a social construct. And he stated that that is an incorrect expression of race, that race is biological.
But it is biological. Like, let's look at our phenotypical traits, the nose differences, the hair texture. It's a biological thing.
Oh, baby.
Sure, there's a social.
It is not.
Well, now see, this is where hell's gonna freeze over. And you know, I know a lot of people love to say, look, the word race is a social construct, but see, I have to go here. I like to make this simple for people. I know this is going to hurt a lot of people's feelings when I say this. The little Sambozo is correct to a certain degree. Let me just make it simple, okay? A lot of people are like, oh, why did you say that? I'm going to prove it. Let's start with the most obvious thing. If race was just a social construct, it didn't matter, okay? Because the word is, but in actuality, it is a biological fact. Why am I saying this? Family, can white folks procreate with any other group and get white people? Come on now. I'm going to make people think about this because a lot of people get stuck on that social construct stuff. They just repeat things because they heard people say it. Come on, let's go here. Can a white person produce another Caucasian person if they get with a Hispanic? You'll get a Nick Fuentes. An Asian, you might get a Keanu Reeves if you're lucky. An East Indian, oh boy, you procreate with a Vivek Ramaswamy, them kids gonna come out dark. An Arab, huh? You know they ain't finna procreate with no black person to get no straight lily white child, Lil Connor and Tiffany, huh? You see what I'm saying? See, you have to make these things very simple. Oh yes, I'm gonna take it a step further. Watch this, right? Family, do you know, if you look back in history at those like Rockefeller, all them heart transplants that he had, family, do you know that our organs, due to us being the progenitor race on this planet, are stronger than any other group? You want to say that race is a social construct, our genes are not recessive. We have dominant genes. So there are differences between the races. Our very bone structure as black people, men and women, is heavier than that of any Caucasians and most other groups. That's a fact. Let me go ahead and bring it on to archaeological terms. They can tell, how you think that they could tell that Lucia woman was a black woman if race was just a social construct? You see what I'm saying? See, I challenge these things with things that can make sense because I could get on an upper collegiate level and break this down if I wanted to, but I try to keep things simple so that everybody can learn over here. You see what I'm saying? See, I get it. A lot of people want to believe that it's a social construct, but it's not. For the very few simple reasons that I gave you there. And I can keep going, okay? There are look, let me go here yet again. Come on, we're going to talk basic science. Don't worry, I'm not going to get too deep with it. We'll talk basic science. I want to keep this grasp very on the level where that young people can grasp what I'm saying, okay? Black people don't have that RH gene in us. You know, the rhesus monkey gene. Yeah, we don't have that in us. That's only found in Caucasian folks. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's a fact. You see, a lot of them, they like to say that stuff and try to weaponize it in these types of discussions or what have you. And I'm talking Democrat and conservative. I've seen both of them play fast and loose with that. But the little Sambo has a point. Okay, he does. You don't have these specific features and genetic qualities that black people have. If you're a Caucasian person, you don't. I'm talking about phenotype and genotype. You have very rare exceptions that can pass for white. You have very rare exceptions that can pass for white. But I'm going to tell you right now, you better understand something about a trait called an atavism. See, let me take it on further back before I let it continue. I'm going to show you something. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, race is a social construct. Watch this. Family, how many of you are familiar with Charlotte of Mecklenburg? Okay. Charlotte of Mecklenburg. Yes, the queen that was over there. First British queen, by the way. All right. They didn't want Charlotte of Mecklenburg to continue that lineage because, hey, she was biracial. And see, they're like, oh, you going to sneak them little nigger genes back in here? Now watch how I thread this needle to present day. Emily, why do you think they treated Meghan Markle the way they did? Just because Harry wanted to go play in some tan pudding, they're like, look here, boy. Hold on. I got to do this right. Look here, boy. We are British. We are the architects of white supremacy. Now, son, we've let you roll around with the negresses long enough. We've known you've been doing this. But we told you could never marry one. Never. Never. Gotten rid of Charlotte of Mecklenburg, and you're going to sneak these Negro genes back in here. Do you know how hard it is to get rid of them? For heaven's sake, we got rid of your mother because she was sleeping with Dodi Fayed, and it was rumored that she was pregnant. Those are too close to nigger genes. So, give us your titles. We shall banish thee to America. Go play with your little negress over there. There will be no more Charlotte of Mecklenburg. See, I'm saying this even though I'm being facetious and clowning. There's a reason why the British are so strict about that. They don't believe no race. Look, if they thought race was a social construct, they're like, they wouldn't have treated Meghan Markle like that. They're like, that race stuff's just made up. Oh, no. They know that any trace or ounce of them black genes from black men or black women, they are dominant. You hear me? The blacker the berry, the more dominant the juice. You understand? They know it. So I'm just making my point about that. Because, look, I get it. A lot of people like to say that, but I'm sorry. Science actually does disagree with you. It does. Let's let it continue.
Concept, but there's biological differences that exist.
Sir, you're very convicted in your lack of information around these things. Race and ethnicity are two different things, okay? Ethnicity is where you're from. Race is literally something that was created to put people into categories of caste, to
Amanda, baby, we know what ethnicity is. We definitely do. We do. We understand the difference between genotypes and phenotypes, but again, this is the shutdown on that whole race social construct thing. They asked them why white people are so up in arms about procreating outside of each other, because they know you don't get white kids and look, they can only get each other from each other. That's it. Now they can procreate with, Italian, German, Russian. You know what I'm saying? Hey, American white folks or British white people, yeah, as long as they're Caucasian. The minute that you start wandering outside that little Caucasian pool, though, boy, the little 7% and dwindling Caucasian pool. Hey, get ready for some black genes. Yeah, the melanated genes wreak havoc on the mayonnaise genetics. They do. Okay? They get that curly hair and them big old noses that we have, boy. Hey, the lips. Hey, you know what? I ain't gonna even do that. There was a joke that I could have made just now. See, I almost went into Patreon mode here. I'm gonna throttle back because y'all know, boy, when I go in, I go in. But see, I think I proved my point. White people wouldn't be so hypersensitive about procreating outside their race if they really believe that. Let it continue.
Put people into categories of oppression. Race is not something that you are. Race is something that was bestowed and put upon you.
That's racism, not race. Race is simply the aggregation.
No, race is literally something that was created and put upon you. And I want you to listen to me as somebody who has studied this, who has a master's in African American Studies from the Institute for Research in African American Studies at Columbia.
Now, see, I can't defend the little Sam Bozo, but I got to go here. I hate when Amanda Seals, silly Seals as I call her, anybody else try to do this. Just because you have a degree doesn't mean that you're actually intelligent. There's plenty of dummies with degrees on paper, okay? Don't have a lick of common sense in the world. That's where look, if you really want to talk about intelligence, that's where the penultimate measure of intelligence is. How much common sense do you operate by? Anybody can spout book knowledge or recite that. How much common sense do you have? Huh? That's what I want to know, all right? But see, her spouting that, again, if he knew, because he's inexperienced, white ass kissing Tether. he doesn't know how to rebuke her with anything I just said. Start bringing up the actual biological difference between the races, particularly black folks. Okay? But he too busy cooning to do that. So nothing that she's going to say is really going to make him wrong on that. And I say, don't believe me? Ask white folks. Again, that's the main thing you go to besides all the other reasons I gave. Okay, that's what you believe. Then, hey, go try to live with some of these hardcore rednecks and see what happens. I'm talking about some of them that actually believe in white purity. And you let little Tiffany get a hankering for some soul posts you want, and she come back home with a half black baby. Uh-oh. Yeah. Hey, how many of y'all remember that scene out of the movie Life? I know everybody here has seen that movie, right? And young people, if you haven't seen it, you need to watch that movie Life. Very funny. Very funny. The great Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence in there. The great Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. Who? All right. Remember that plantation on it? All right. Who's the father of this little chocolate baby? Who is it? Who's the father? Out of Peppy. I know y'all remember that scene, right? See, I'm gonna make some of y'all go watch that, huh? Funny movie. If you hadn't seen it, you know what I'm saying? You're a young black person, go watch it, okay? Figure out what the old folks over here talking about. But my point is, there was a lot of truth in that scene in that particular movie in Life there, okay? They are just like that for real. Don't you let 2025 fool you just because it's the year 2025. The hardcore dyed-in-the-wool white supremacists, they don't like that. Oh, they don't like that, boy. Hey, look, you might have some white folks, man, that's cool with you, party, sing, dance. Oh, they remember all the Friday movie lines and everything. Y'all might have a good time. Mess around and start talking about dating somebody in their family to see what happens. Let it continue.
University. I want you to understand very clearly that race is not something that is biological. There is literally
Look at us. Look at the differences.
There is many differences that are equated to ours that
And
has
they're
nothing
not
to do with
biological?
race.
Melanin
That has nothing to
content
do
is
with
not
race.
biological at all?
So if you have a black parent.
Ooh, he got her there. And yes, we understand the different types of melanin, melanin, and all of that. But see, again, and I hate to, even try to make this little old Angolan Sambozo look good. You got to understand something. That is a biological difference because let's just make it plain. Do Caucasians have the same level of melanin that we have? That's a simple yes or no. Again, the only reason I'm harping on this is to try to enlighten my people that might have bought into that race as a social construct thing, okay? No, there are clear biological differences. Melanin is one of them. Let's let it continue.
And you have a white parent, and now you come out looking white. How is that a biological proof of your race?
Most of them
There's
come
no
out
most of them.
having curly hair.
It's called an atavism, Amanda, and let me go there. Because see, an atavism is this, okay? You can have two black parents, and if somebody in your family had green eyes or hazel eyes or whatever, that will come back through your genetic lineage down the line somewhere. Okay, it will. Certain hair color, texture, what have you. So there is an atavism that does happen and occur in all races, all right? Depending on what particular trait it is. Now, how many generations it occurs, that's random. There's no way to really predict that from what I understand, but it does occur. So, the argument she's making there, again, he got her on that one. Let's let it continue.
Stop. There's no most of them. You do not
Mixed
have
race?
anything to
You're
prove
mixed
that.
race too.
I am not mixed race. My mother is black and my father is black.
Well, my father is also considered black, but he's very much has a lot of European DNA. And
you know what I think? I think that you are at a phase of your learning where you are a contrarian. And I look forward to seeing your development because I have a feeling that you're actually going to flip the script eventually because you are somebody that definitely is grounded in wanting to learn facts and wanting to learn the truths of things. However, you're currently still stuck in an indoctrinated space that is tricking you into thinking that you are something that you are not.
Oh, no, silly seals. No, ma'am. Oh, no. Let me tell you something. Let me correct her real quick on something because this is very important. He's already where he's going to be. Now, if he was a young man, because he's like 18, oh, no, it's too late for him. Now, if he was a young boy, 16, 15, you know what I'm saying, that age, okay, you got time to kind of course correct. 18 and up, that's it. That's it. When they start talking like this, now there's certain things you can course correct on that age, but as far as ideologies are concerned, oh no, this is it for him. He's not going to turn around and become a damn thing else. Nope. That's a throwaway there. He needs to go over there with his people or whatever community is going to accept him, because we can't have him over here. This is all of our history. Oh no. We are too close to getting the things accomplished that we need to accomplish. That's a liability. Yes, I said it. I would say that about somebody that's a foundational Black American that's talking like that. You are an extreme liability. We can't trust you. No, you got to go over there where you chosen to throw your lot in. Let it continue.
Are a Black person who is literally having to receive the results of racism, but ultimately you are of an ethnicity that has thrived in spite of it. And that is where we really exist from. And that is where our resilience comes from in spite of systemic racism.
I think our resilience is happening now. I think growing, understanding the real problems, not going out and trying to protest against, you guys don't ever do this. KTS,
You guys don't ever do that.
KTS,
Who is you guys?
Members of the Black community that don't want to hold people accountable, especially Black people. So KTS Dre was shot 60 times outside of Cook County, Chicago. How many BLM members came out? You earlier said BLM
Stop
is about
referring
police.
to me as you guys.
Okay, that's fine. So, for example, we had.
But Amanda, little old pizza head boy, see through there your little condescending, shield attempt here, because you are a Democrat shield. You're not fooling nobody with your little ripped jeans and your little kaleidoscope tragedy of a paint disaster jacket that you have on. Who the hell told her that shit was something to wear? Oh my God, that woman is supremely nutty. And I know that's probably going to offend some people, because I know some people that knows this woman personally. I don't care. Y'all know Amanda Seals is nutty as hell. Okay? No. And then like my brother, my battle buddy Kermit as Wingfield said, he said a contrarian. Know it all. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, look. He thinks he was being contrarian just for the sake of. No, that boy he's being competitively contrarian. Now, what's his prize? He's competing for him a Zaddy. You can't make me believe he ain't. Let me tell you right now, man, Zaddy came in there and said, hey, listen, I'm choosing. I need a replacement. Man, he would get up out that chair so fast, man, and to his little Angolan ass in the eye. Hey, daddy. I guarantee you. He ain't fooling me. That boy, yeah. I mean, because, like, look, let me go here with him. Because, see, I wasn't going to do this while I got him on the screen. When I was 18, you could tell I was a developing young man, okay? I had a physique to me. My hands were already accustomed to working. I carried myself like the young man that I wanted to be, to make my father and my grandfathers proud, because I looked up to them. I wanted to be just like them, okay? But we didn't have this little old feminine demeanor to us. And we damn sure wasn't no ass-kissing people. Oh, no, I do not come from that. So when you look at this boy right here, man, it's just so much that's off about his masculinity. And see, I'm going here for a reason, because, see, the little tender booties like him, those are the ones that quick to turn their little tender ass up in the ass surrender. Okay, don't count on him to protect nobody. This boy right here will never be the head of a household to protect nobody's family. How? Well, all it takes is a white man wink at you one time, man. I surrender, daddy. Yeah, that's what that'll be. And listen, man, don't get me started. Let's let it continue.
Had a really good example of this, where it's not a police, because I remember you
Where
said.
Where are you from?
Where am I from? What do you mean by that? Like, what state am I from? Where was I born?
Where do you live right now?
I live in Florida. I was born in Angola, though. I was born in sub-Saharan Africa, okay?
Where did you grow?
Oh, player. Now he admits it. You know what I'm saying? As we all know. Salute to good brother Project Lero for the cash out. Thank you very much, my good man. Now he admits it. Hey, you were born in Angola. And then notice how far gone he's using that white supremacist term, sub-Saharan Africa. You know, they love, keep talking about some sub-Saharan Africa. See, I've told y'all many times, and just wait till that broadcast come up there with I'm going to get on Mr. Frank Zanu, because I'm bored. That's going to be one of the ones right there that y'all be like, brother, why did you do him like that? Oh, it ain't going to be no roasting. I'm just going to hit him with hardcore facts like I used to do on this channel. Because I kind of tone things down, but I'm going to have to take it down on the next broadcast. But see, let me tell y'all something, man. In a lot of these countries, not all, but enough for it to be a problem, especially when they come over here, A lot of them are taught in their homeland before they set foot on American soil to worship white folk, either through misuse. Notice I said misuse of religion, or their parents have told them that you will be successful. Highest esteem that you can get is marry you a white man or a white woman. Some of them in their homelands are ashamed to speak their mother tongues when they're going to school. Some of them, and they're not like us, pun intended, some of them from the time that they were children, they didn't go around playing cops and robbers or, playing double dutch or, any of the things that we played when we were kids. No, that's not what their games were. They were running around pretending and wishing they were white people. I'm telling you, I've had on cold continental Africans tell me about this, okay? I didn't want to believe it until I was shown some examples of this. I'll never forget it, man. I've been to several different African countries, and I ain't gonna name just one to single them out. But I've seen this in one where I had an experience where, one of my good friends, he was just like, hey, man, just sit here, and I'm gonna ask some questions about certain things. And the question that he was asking was pertaining to white people and how they were perceived. He was just like, look, just don't say nothing, just, because he wanted me to see what he was telling me. And I was just like, nah, man, it ain't that bad. This was years and years ago. So I'm like, I'm like, the stuff you telling me, nah, man, they ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Man, I did what he told me and just sat there and listened. Boy, my soul just sank. I was like, I can't believe what I'm hearing. The way they was talking about them folks, man, oh, don't worry, we're going to go down this broadcast. Because, see, I'm going to shut Mr. Frank Sanu up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give him something to be ashamed about. I'm going to shine a spotlight on some things that I used to try to shy away from on this channel. I got something for that. Just wait. But see, we didn't grow up idolizing them folks like that. Hell, even when we were kids and, it's back as Gen Xers and definitely back for boomers and beyond that, there was not much representation on TV as far as heroic things. So even if you were running around playing, pretending to be Superman or Batman or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You imagine yourself black doing that. We wouldn't imagine ourselves as no white folks doing it. I don't care what we were watching. We don't suffer from that. We didn't grow up wanting to bleach our skins and being ashamed of our skin color. No. That's not us. That's your culture, sir. And I wouldn't be surprised if you find out this boy done bleached up a little bit. Because, see, I'm looking at him here, I don't know. I might be wrong. I don't know what his parents look like, but, that bleaching, boy, and I've told y'all before, if you really want to become a multi-millionaire overnight, man, some of these Caribbean and African nations, if you had a bleach company, ooh, you would be swimming in cash. You hear me? I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Let it continue.
Grow up for most of your time?
In Maine. I lived in North America.
In Maine?
Yes.
And what is the population of black people in the town that you're from?
It's really extremely low, but I grew up around black people, and there was a black community where I lived.
And that black community that you lived in, did they teach you about black history in the United States?
Like,
are your parents black American?
By the way, I was gonna save this for the next broadcast, but I will bring it up here tonight. You all can go and verify this because I will be showing it on the next stream. We deal with Mr. Frank Zanu. For a lot of people that probably like, well, Brother GBS, you just gave anecdotal evidence. We weren't there. We didn't hear what you heard. See what you see for how some of them act towards them folks. I'm going to show you how you can throw away everything I said, or better yet, keep in mind what I said, or as my anecdotal experience there. And I want you to juxtapose it against what I'm about to tell you to look up. Okay? I want you, all of you on the sound of my voice, whether you agree or disagree, to go and look up how many continental African nations right now in 2025 are willingly a part of the British Commonwealth. I'm not going to even tell you no. I'm going to let you look it up. Go look up how many Caribbean nations are willingly in 2025 a part of the British Commonwealth. Now, you don't choose to do that after you get your independence on paper, unless you have an affinity for these folks and you think you're extensions of the British crown. I'll let that marinate right there. Y'all do your homework on that. Let's let it continue.
Yeah, my mom is black. My father is black.
No, I'm asking, were they born in the United States?
No, because I wasn't born there.
Oh, so you guys are all from Angola?
Yes. But again, like I told you earlier, right? In terms of people like KTSJ, they were shot. BLM doesn't come out for them. And I remember you earlier
Well, I
said,
think it's really
hold on, can I
important
please finish? You earlier said that BLM is worried about police, but when Daniel Penny choked out the man that we all know was causing violence on that subway train,
he was not causing violence.
He was threatening
causing
people.
Disruption is not causing violence.
He was threatening people.
Causing disruption is not causing violence.
And the people there helped him also. And we know that we helped them.
I don't know what that.
Now, see, I'm glad they got to this point right here because, see, let me show y'all his face again, okay? Let me talk to you. A lot of people think I'm too harsh when I say that someone is a liability or a lost cause, but let me point something out because you heard what this man said, okay, this young boy said. When somebody, I don't care what lineage you're from, is advocating for a white person, especially a white supremacist, that murdered somebody innocently, because Jordan Neely didn't physically assault anybody. He didn't have no weapon. Yelling loud doesn't give you the right to put your hands on somebody. Okay? Because see, the white supremacists don't know to keep their hands to themselves, which is exactly why Austin Metcalf is no longer here. Keep your damn hands to yourself. But see, when you have somebody, I don't care whether they're a Tether or foundational Black American freedman lineage, advocating and supporting the harm of another Black person unjustly at the hands of these white supremacist demons, ain't nothing you can do with that. Now do you see why I say that? For those that probably like, brother, you go way too far sometimes. Oh, no, I don't. I don't go far enough, to be honest with you. There's nothing you can do once somebody, male or female, no matter their lineage, start making excuses for people that murder people like Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Jordan Neely, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice. The list goes on and on. That person has given up. They are mentally defeated. And most importantly of all, don't you forget this if you don't remember nothing else that I tell you here tonight. Those people are dangerous because they will do anything, and I mean anything, for white acceptance and white approval. Let it continue.
It has to do with BLM. Random people on a train is not Black Lives Matter.
BLM showed up for that. They did.
Showed up for what?
BLM showed up threatening white people, saying that they're going to go get white people now. They
BLM
did.
protested.
BLM New York.
BLM protested. Where did you get that from? You see, your sources are not. You're not able to cite your sources.
Please
go sit down.
Yeah, that's the truth.
It's not the truth. It's not the truth. It's not the. Nothing you say is actually the truth. Nothing. You're not even American. You're not even a Black American. As the daughter of an immigrant, it is imperative that Black people from other places understand the disparate difference that they exist from Black people in the United States. It is not the same. Period. And ultimately, the best effort that we can do as a diaspora is to lead in understanding, not in judgment. So when I am talking to somebody from Sudan, from the Congo, from Angola, I am listening to understand their experience, not to undermine it. And I refuse to allow anybody from Grenada, from Angola, from any other place to come and try to undermine the experience of Black Americans.
Okay. Now, I agree with what she said right there. I don't have no issue or problem with a brother or sister from another country that's on code. But let me tell you what's the deal breaker for me. Now, discourse, we sit down, we breaking bread. I got to know where you stand on systematic white supremacy. Now, if you say ain't no racism, ain't no white supremacy, or you see it as something to capitulate to, okay? If you see it as something to capitulate to, hey, man, we can't travel the same roads, okay? We don't sell horses, as we say here in the South. You got to go your way, I go mine. Because I don't play with that, okay? I don't play with something that I know is a reality for my people. So for me, unity begins when we have the same agenda, okay? And the same mindset as far as dealing with white supremacy. Okay, now, unfortunately, when you see a lot of them, and I'm going to tell you how you know a Tether without them even speaking, nothing to do with their hairline, anything, not even that quarter slot gap that most of them have in their mouth. I'm going to tell you how you can tell. As foundational Black American freedmen, we're around white folks every day. You don't be smiling with our 32-hour teeth showing when they come by, just stand around, even if they're not talking to us. Mark my words, you start paying attention to this. For all the little tilters that's over here, watch how they just light up when they're in the presence of a white person. I'm telling you now, I don't care what they're doing, standing casually waiting somewhere in a public place or in a public service. That's how you really feel in a place or a public service. Man, them teeth, boy, they look like little old piranhas on two legs, boy. And just teeth all over the place. I mean, it's like, it's almost like some type of conniption fit that, you know, when them folks come around because they so impressed by them teeth just come out. Boy, I'm telling you, man, hey, that's so mad, boy. Folks probably never told y'all that. See, I study these anti-black folks. I don't care whether it's white supremacists or the Tether class. I study all of them. I learn and I watch and observe. I say, oh, make a note of that. Yep. Keep that in my mental Rolodex because that could be very important depending on what type of situation you in. Definitely, if we are trying to get some business handled politically, these people start jumping up, talking about what we shouldn't get and what we shouldn't have. And look, again, Amanda Seals did make some great points here, but baby, you are not of our lineage. You cannot represent us. Because, not just because you non-FBA, but because you are a Democrat shill. You're not fooling nobody. You don't, look, Democrat shills like Roland Martin, Amanda Seals, and all the rest of these flunkies and soundbows, or Republican shills. They don't just switch their ideology overnight. No. You got to earn this with track record of doing for our people and being on code. You have to earn that by when we trying to oppose something, you don't come out trying to undermine it. All right. All of these things are in addition to you being of the lineage. But if you're not of the lineage, for example, our Grandmaster Scholar, Dr. Joseph Ben Yakner, he was non-FBA, but that was a rider if there ever was one. You understand? And there's several other names that I could name. Bottom line, Amanda, we're not falling for a Democrat. So regardless of this performance that she gave here, nobody's buying it. Let it continue.
Who feels passionately about something that they want to talk to me about? I choose John Samuel because I like his facial hair and dashiki pairing. I feel like he's gonna sing a mean R&B.
Which one? My claim is that black people as a community need to walk away from the Democratic Party and progressivism completely. I'm saying this from a very unique perspective. I'm not trying to shout myself.
So see, here we go with that, the left, the right stuff, okay? Idiots sound like a damn ping pong ball. Yes, we should walk away from not only the Democratic Party plantation, but also the Republican Party plantation. It's not leave one, go to another. And see, let me tell you something else about the thinking that I consider a liability. If you go back and look at this election, okay, when they got the orange tornado in office, because that's what Democrats wanted. They could have gave us our tangibles and the orange tornado wouldn't have been in there. But see, they wanted to play games. We had to let them crash and burn. Let me tell you something. The problem with people that thinking those linear turns, okay, they're pigeonholed to one or the other as if you didn't have the option to sit it out and not cast a vote for either party that's not giving tangibles. Those people right there, man, they are like, I got to go here. You will find dining room tables with more common sense than them. Because those people were freaking out on both sides, talking about, well, if you don't vote for this person and you sit it out, that's a vote for the other side. That is not how voting works. Yet we had morons saying that. And I've heard both sides say that, all right? Yeah. So see, you know, if you over here, we don't do buck dancing and shilling for either party. We on team black over here. If you ain't coming with no tangible policies for foundational black American freedom and black America, things that we can actually use that benefit us. Ain't no black and brown, ain't no minorities, ain't no people of color, we don't do that over here. We're black, baby, and proud of it. If you're too ashamed to call us by name, then we're going to be ashamed to give you our votes. It's just that simple. If you won't work for free, don't vote for free. That's just how we keep it over here. Let's let it continue.
Or anything. This is really just my experience. Currently, I'm running for Congress, right? And one of the biggest hurdles I have in doing that is the black community. It's because they expect us to be in this box.
What's the box?
The box would be, okay, you're black, so you got to be a Democrat. You got to think this way. You have to have this view on this matter.
No, you got to tell me, think what way?
Like,
I really want to understand.
So let's take immigration. That's
okay.
There's a hot button issue right now, especially in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
My view is that you should come here the legal way, and that if you don't come here the legal way, you are subject to the laws of the country. But I also feel
I don't
that
think
if you're
anyone would disagree with that.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying that a lot of people, especially where I'm from San Diego, will like to put black conservatives in this box. And the reason why I say specifically in my claim that black people need to walk away from the Democratic Party is because every single election cycle, all they do is use us as their tokens. They use us as their kind of election tools. They use.
See, while he's going on this screed about leaving the Democrat Party, which I agree, I would ask him, make the case for, because you basically trying to make the case we should all go flocking over to the Republicans. You trying to tell me that the Republicans don't use you as mascots as well? So they definitely do. Let me go a step further. One thing I will give the Republicans, they're honest. Okay, they're honest, open, anti-black racists, the greater majority of that party. Family, you ever notice that they don't really put any prominent foundational black Americans that's over there calling themselves conservatives? First of all, what the hell are you conservative in a system of white supremacy? Don't have any power. You ever notice that they don't ever put them in prominent leadership positions? You know why? Because white folks over there are just like the greater majority of white people in this country. They don't want to take orders from no black person. It doesn't matter if you're a police officer and you black. It doesn't matter if you're in the military and you black. Yeah, I'm going there. It doesn't matter. They don't like taking orders from us. They don't even play. They don't even pretend. Look, you can run for whatever position you want. You notice them Republicans don't really put them in no major positions like that. They really don't. They don't. I'm going to tell you something right now. You will never see over there in that party. See, they played the little Tether game with Barack Obama over here because his mother was white, father Kenyan. Okay, Tether. No attachment to foundation of black Americans. We've seen the harm that he did to our community. But the Republicans ain't playing that game. You will never see a dark-skinned foundational black American freedman, man or woman, win the presidential nomination for that party. You ain't gonna ever see it. I promise you that. Oh, that's not gonna happen. Just like you ain't gonna see it in the Democrat Party. I'm going there too. Barack Obama was not a foundational black American. They don't. You notice something? Let me go here. Both parties, you ain't gonna never see us even get to a vice president. You're not gonna see that. That's not gonna happen. Now they'll let you get those other positions. Secretary of Defense, they'll definitely let you get that one. Lloyd Austin looking at you. They'll definitely let you get that one happen. So if anything go wrong, they can blame it on the Negro. And he's the incompetent Negro in the position. See what happens? DEI. Or they'll let you get Secretary of State. You know what I'm saying? Hey, press secretary. Oh, you can get all that stuff up under the chain of command. But for the leadership, oh no. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Let it continue.
Use us as these campaign posters. They tell us to come to their rallies. They tell us to sing on their stages. They tell us to do all these things, and they forget about us 3 other years, and they remember us 4 years later. Every single cycle, it happens again and again. And I'm one of the people, like, I really appreciate you because it seems like you have a love for the black community and you have a love for people, and I appreciate that. And I do too, because I don't express that in the same way as, let's say, as a black person who's a member of the Democratic Party. I get called Uncle Tom. I get called I get called a racist. I hate myself. I love myself, and I love our people. I love everything about us. We have done so much for this country. We built this table that everyone is seated at. We deserve rights. We deserve all these things. However, what I don't like more than anything, is being used. It's being used by politicians, being used by governments as some type of puppet to say, here's my black person that's voting for me. I don't like that. And it makes me sad, no matter you're Democrat, Independent, Green Party, whatever. Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
I completely agree. Yeah. I completely agree. I would add to that it's no different with the Conservative Party, that there is 1,000% a use of black people to weaponize a concerted effort to literally, quote unquote, make America great again. The concept of make America great again did not start with Donald Trump. It started with Ronald Reagan, and it happened right after the Civil Rights Movement. There was a very strong, visceral response by white people after the Civil Rights Movement, after the Voting Rights Act of 1965, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Fair Housing Act of 1969, the Economic Opportunity Act of 1965. These were all efforts that were put in place on a federal level to say, okay, fine, here and damn, we're going to give you a little bit of something to get your weight up. After that, there was a active effort made by conservatives, because that's also when we saw the flip between the Democratic and Republican parties.
There was no flip.
There was a flip. That's actively what happened. There was a flip. And
Since
we saw
Reconstruction, Democratic Party has been the party of slavery, the party of racism.
there was a flip because the Democratic.
See, you know what? I hate when these buck dancing conservatives try to pull that. The Democrats were the party of slavery and racism and the Ku Klux Klan. Okay. See, I'm going to definitely have to get back in my bag and get back deep into this history about these things. Because, family, let me tell you something. And for the young people of my lineage and non-FBA listening to this, you better understand. And see, I'm saying it now, but I'm going to have to put that broadcast together to show what I'm talking about. The Klan, okay, had both Republicans and Democrats in it. They supported Democrat and Republican candidates. It wasn't just one party. So when you hear people talking about, oh, it was the Democrats that was this, that's a half truth. Let me tell you something. The Klan didn't care which party you came from as long as you was anti-black and willing to practice and uphold white supremacy. You understand? Oh, I'm going to have to put that broadcast together because, see, man, it's a whole list of politicians, Democrat and Republican, that were part of Ku Klux Klan. All right? So don't ever let them pull that. Oh, it's the party of slavery and all that. No. Nope. That's a lie. Because, see, here's the thing. Both parties benefited off of that. They keep trying to paint the Republicans as the saviors of black people. And Lord knows, this is what they really think you don't know your history. They keep trying to hold Abraham Lincoln up with that false title, the Great Emancipator. Now, family, how many times have I shown you what Abraham Lincoln's words were over here? How many times have I done it? Yeah, I think I'm going to have to put that broadcast together, debunking that bullshit once for all, as if, oh, it was just all the Democrats and Republicans were the good guys. Be looking for that soon. That's coming. Political.
The Democrats were more aligned with making these civil rights concessions than the Republicans. That's the flip. Ultimately, though, the flip is what people are misappropriating, because the flip isn't a 180, okay? The flip is literally just, we was this and now we this. And that is not the same as we are for black people. The Democratic Party is not for black people, nor is the Republican Party. Any nation...
Wait a minute, silly seals, okay? Because, see, this woman actually thinks we don't remember how much buck dancing she was doing for the Democrats. You are saying that as if you come to the epiphany that Democrats are not for black people and the Republicans. Okay, well, why were you going so hard in the paint for them? And mark my words, remember the words she just said here, okay? I want y'all to remember this part of this interview here, this debate, whatever they want to call it. Remember, she just said that the Democrat Party isn't for black people. All my words, few months, she gonna be talking about Democrat. Look, I'm gonna take this stuff further. She gonna take her punk ass back on Roland Martin's show and gonna be doing it. I'm telling y'all, man, watch. Get time. See, look, that's the thing about time, man. Time is the great revealer. All you got to do is sit back and watch. So I want you to remember this, and you gonna remember what I told y'all, controlled opposition. But see, you got to understand that the Democrats are so disrespectful, and they actually think the greater majority of black America has a short attention span. We don't pay attention to things. But see, you better understand, this is what new black media is for. We keep up with these things. We go back in archives. Everything that you say, everything that you do, faces, names, when you try to take them out the spotlight for a while, then wheel them back out, you'll be like, oh, we know. Hey, how you doing? We remember you. Just because you've been gone for a while, don't think that we forgot about you. Yeah, you said this, and this. Yep, we know who you are. Them days are over with. Across generations, we are focused on both sides trying to pull the okie doke on us. Not going to happen no more. So let it continue.
That has a bipartisan system that doesn't even allow for its own people to determine who are going to be the candidates for president, isn't for its people in general, beyond blackness. So it's imperative that we begin to truly understand the systems at work in this government that not only hinder us as black people, but they hinder anyone who wants to see change, because they are ultimately working together. Now, do we see one party activating higher levels of discrimination than others? Yes. Do we see one party that is more violent per se than others? Yes. And we can say this on many different levels. But when it comes to like enacting genocide or destabilizing other nations, see,
let me show you something, right? I want y'all to catch what she just said. Because she said that, hey, can we, do we have evidence that one party more violent? There are both left-wing extremists and right-wing extremists, okay? We've seen that over the years. I've shown that on this very channel. See, this is how you can tell she's still a Democrat shill. Because basically she didn't say it, but basically she's trying to say that the Republican Party is the most violent party. I'm like, where have you been, fool? They have left-wing extremists that go on the same shooting sprees as Robert Westman did, okay? They do. They do. Hell, look, remember the dude, let's use recent history. And now I'm not caping for the Orange Man, but we got to use this as an example. Remember the dude that called himself trying to take out the Orange Man? That was a leftist extremist. They have them in both parties. See, this, look, if you let a person talk long enough, no matter what type of side they put up with this controlled opposition, they show their true colors. I wanted y'all to catch that, right? Talking about, what she call herself? I'm a disruptor and all this other stuff. No, baby, you still a Democrat shield. We see straight through you. Let it continue.
We know that happens on an American level, regardless, okay? I completely agree that the idea that you have to act a certain way as a black person is really problematic because the Democrats and the Republicans, neither of them actually care about black people. And when we talk about conservatism or we talk about being a liberal, neither of these aspects were grounded in how do we help to repair the harm that we have caused an entire group of people who made it possible for us to even have a constitution. So you can sit here and show me whatever you want.
No. The only reason why I was going to show you this is because
even with that Constitution, we weren't even humans.
What?
When they wrote it.
So that was another fact check I wanted to kind of fact check before, but I couldn't say anything. But the 3/5 compromise had nothing to do with your 3/5 of a person. The 3/5 compromise had to do with representation in Congress. So there's a little note here if you open this.
The 3/5 compromise said that the Southern slaveholders needed to be represented fairly in Congress. And because there was so many more slaves than actual white people in the South, they were allowed to count their slaves as representation, even though those slaves did not have the ability to vote.
If we were at that time, let's say the 3/5 compromise never happened, we were a whole person as in light of the government, right? If that happened, then this America would not be the America that you know today. Because what it was is, if it was, we were counted as
whole. You're defending the 3/5 compromise,
Can you
bro.
just listen? Can you listen? No, listen for a second.
Okay.
Because I don't want you to get mischaracterized what I'm saying, okay?
Okay.
Slavery was wrong. It was absolutely disgusting and immoral thing.
Okay.
I have nothing good to say about that. But the 3/5 compromise, if you counted a person who was a slave as a whole person at that time, most of the slaves were held in the south of the Mason-Dixon line, right?
I just said that, yeah.
So what would happen is they would have more representation in Congress, and thus those laws that were, by the abolitionists, those would have been gone. Okay, so that would have gave the South more power to do the things that they couldn't do. So that's why they said the 3/5 compromise, because then if it's 3/5 compromise, they don't get that power. But of course they're.
See, this is what this guy doesn't realize. Right now, we're in the system of white supremacy. They do what they want to do. See, this is what I love about my chat room. Watch this. For the younger people that might be listening to this, especially if you are catching this on playback, I want you to get the book that my brother Kermit S. Wingfield talked about. Y'all heard me mention this book before. I have it on my shelf as well, by the author, the brother Lerone Bennett Jr. Book is called Forced into Glory. Okay, and that will give you a real picture about who Abraham Lincoln was if them conservatives try that bullshit. Okay, get that book. And my brother Cool Keys said, why was she crying so hard for commandment and you're having a mental breakdown? Yeah, see, she had like that just doesn't exist. But see, this is how stupid they think that most foundational black Americans are. Okay, and none of their own co-brothers, they think we don't remember that. No, we remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers. So let it continue.
People, so they have to say something, and that's where this came into play. Because if it wasn't for that, this country would have looked a lot differently.
So you're suggesting that it was okay for slaves' bodies to not only be used for labor, but also used to empower those who are harming them to be fairly represented in government?
I think it's absolutely, they should have been used, period.
Okay,
I think it was
so then we agree on that.
Yeah,
so we agree on that.
It was absolutely abhorrent. There's no excuse for it. There's no justification for it.
So then where's the argument? Because ultimately, when there was an opportunity in Reconstruction for there to be equality and humans considered in a real way and protected,
Democrats torched it. Andrew Johnson.
Yes. As well as the Supreme Court. That's actually more important what we have to acknowledge. The Supreme Court torched it. The Supreme Court has actively, throughout this entire existence of this nation, been at the forefront of impeding any advancement, and it ends up sending us back over and over and over again because it doesn't have term limits, because it doesn't have term limits. You know, it's not elected, it's appointed, and ultimately they have made it abundantly clear that they pick and choose when it's the states that are going to have rights and when they're going to be in a federal position of precedence.
Well, that has to do with the supremacy clause. So the supremacy clause is when a federal law is in conflict with the state's law. The federal law will override. For example, in California, weed is legal, right?
But federally,
it's not. So they can come down here and they could say, hey, we're going to raid all these places, and they would be completely in line with the law.
And so this is how segregation and discrimination ended up existing even after the civil rights laws of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment were passed, because Congress said we need to protect black people, and the Supreme Court said we actually are not going to give you the right to do so. For what it's worth, I think we can do this back and forth all day, but at the end of the day, I will completely agree with you. Black people need to let the Democrats go. I think black people need to let both of these parties go and figure out a way to move forward together in our own nation.
You know what?
Now, family, I want you to remember these words, okay? She said she thinks that black people need to let the Democrats go and the Republicans go. Okay, now, watch she flip-flop that tune. I'm telling you. Because see, look, let me bring up the main reason why I did the 3 parts of this and I broke this down. Okay, let me put her face. His face. Let me tell you something. The reason why I'm doing this is because one lesson that I want you to learn, if you don't learn any other from this platform, I don't want to see my people. I do not get so tickled in the ears by somebody that comes out talking like this, that has put no actual tangible work in to show that she can be trusted. Just because they up and start borrowing out talking points, no, this is controlled opposition. I want you to know it when you see it. Because, see, I know too many of our people, and this is why I took so long to cover this. I sit back and I watch things that I consider bellwether moments in the hour of our history. And I knew that the reaction I was seeing to some of these people, like, oh, she making good points. She making good points. I'm like, how many times do they have to pull the same trick over and over before we learn from that and say, I know exactly what this is when I see it, okay? And this is controlled opposition. These same words that she's saying, talking about we need to leave the party, it ain't gonna mean nothing in a couple of months. Watch what I tell you. Y'all gonna refer back to this and be like, brother, damn it, you told us that's exactly how it was gonna go down. So let it continue.
Actually get on with that because, you know, I don't believe that all Republicans are, you know, good and not using us as well. I agree with that. I agree with that. And
let's sing a duet.
I'm for no matter what color skin you are, or black, whatever it is, think for yourself. If you think for yourself and you do your own research and you want to be a liberal radical, go for it. If you want to think for yourself and be a Green Party, go for it.
I agree with this.
If you want to be liberal and be a Republican, then go for it.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes.
You know what? I'm down for that. Think for ourselves. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Family, what kind of goofy Tether version of a hymn was she calling herself singing right there? See, and oh, you can't make this up, man. And see, look, dealing with what the dude said there sitting in the chair. Yes, we definitely should all think for ourselves, but when they call themselves free thinkers, that free thinking always tends to align with one particular party, conservative party. Or in the case of the Democrat shills, it's the Democrat Party. How are you, look, if you truly want to use the term free thinker, those would be the people like myself that would be politically independent. Okay, there's your free thinker right there. Not only is being politically independent more in line with being a free thinker, if you're going to use that term they love to throw around, it also puts you in the most powerful political position. Why? Because you're a wild card. People don't know which way you're going to go. Swing vote is the most powerful vote because people have to compete to get your vote. Compete to get your vote with policies that benefit you. Every other group, they don't exchange their vote for nothing. They're like, okay, what you got for me? You can get the vote, but you better have something in exchange, some policies. Every other group in this country understands that. Voting is a business transaction for them. You understand? So if you come empty-handed, well, you get no votes. Okay? And they're not beholden to either political party, these other groups. Just because you did something for them once, they're like, okay, cool, this is good. Yeah, we got exactly what we need this year. See you next year. You better come back with something else. That's how they do it. That's how, look, we late to the party on that. We've been for the longest, the majority of our people, yes, vote Democrat. For the longest, and I don't care if you look at the other side, even though we haven't been voting for them in the majority of numbers, but with both political parties, we the people that, okay, you go ahead and vote for us and put us in there, then we'll get back to you. And get back to you never comes. So I'm here to tell you today, in the era of delineation, that getting back to us, ain't going to be no more get back to us. You're going to get with us from the jump. That's right. You're going to come to the table with tangible proof of concept policies that we can use. Let it continue.
I appreciate you coming on the show and debating with Amanda. I could see that there was a care for the community and there was a care for wanting to uplift us rather than treat us like a monolith. And that's what I'm all about. Regardless if you're a Democrat, Green Party, or Republican, I just think that people are far more complex than we give them credit.
There is an active effort of folks on any side of the aisle that want to see the elevation of Black people to be able to come together and have real conversations that are grounded not in stats, and this is going to sound real woo-woo, but it's what it is, that are grounded in love. And I hope that whatever anyone took away from this conversation is the reality that I really do love Black people. I love people, and I love the ability to exist on this earth and have access to joy.
I think sometimes things got a little bit heated, and that's okay because emotions get the best of us. But I think overall she did pretty well for her position. I don't agree with her for the most part, but I think she did pretty well.
Just kind of seeing this dynamic that this is really what happens. A lot of times when we look at discourse, we look at it online, so everybody's typing and typing. But this is what real discourse looks like when you have to really sit in front of someone.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, here we have the woodchuck. The woodchuck, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the wild, dry wig woodchuck. Oh, woodchuck. Boy, them damn teeth are a beast. I'm sorry. I had to cut her off. Man, look at this. Yeah, it's a zaddy somewhere because you can just tell by the tone of her skin. She's sitting up there with some zaddy that's draining all the melanin and all the damn actual Black womanhood spirit out of her dusty wig, woodchuck tooth having ass. I'm sorry, y'all. The woodchuck is just, she's disturbing. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone.
And unpack your arguments, you can see the pressure that causes and how you have to really kind of have your thoughts together and how heated and emotional it can get. So I think the fact that you guys, created this space for us to be able to do that is awesome. Whether it was productive or not, we'll only see. Hopefully some of the things that, we said stick with Amanda. She was using some of my quotes, about resilience and everything. And I was like, okay, so I'm planting a little bit of seeds there. And then of course there were times where when she was right, she was right. And I was like, you know what, she has a point. So I think it's pretty productive if you allow it to be.
Oh, a little old can, open the mouth, dry wig heifer. Anyway, family, I think I made my point with this tonight, okay? Bottom line, recognize controlled opposition when you see it, because one of the last things that Silly Seal said, she talking about how much she loved Black people, she loved all people. Let me tell you something, right? And I want all of y'all to remember this, no matter what age range you are listening to this broadcast here tonight. When it comes to the protection and empowerment of our people, especially politically, that's warfare. I ain't talking about who I love or nothing. No, we got business to handle. No. We can talk about love after we get our people and our community secure. See, this is what the Democrats try to use, because, see, I catch all the language. That's that, we let you talk about your feelings. You need a hug, pat on the head, some symbolic bullshit, some cash fade nuggets. No. I'm the guy that if I step into a room to talk to you, you better be talking business. Because if I determine that you're wasting my time, conversation is over with. And that's how I want all of our people to be. Our political business, that should be respected by us letting these people understand that you're not going to waste our time at all. Within the first sentence out of their mouths, they better be talking about what they're going to do, and we better see proof of it. Fact of business, I done told y'all, this is where we need to tax them politically. You can't just come and do what you did before and say, okay, hey, we agreed on this. No, we need to see proof of concept policy ahead of time where you've already been doing this for 3, 4, 5 years, etc. We need to see that. If you hadn't been doing that, hey, man, we can't trust you because we've given you too much good faith in doing that, okay? We've given you too much good faith with it. So we can't trust you. Can't trust you at all, okay? Can't trust you at all. Family, hold tight. Oh, I just not realized that. See, I told y'all. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Oh, but they're like, oh, you can't be cooking it. See, it was the woodchuck coming. Oh, boy. Hey, let me know if y'all can hear me, man. Hey, I was trying to close out. Boy, they're like, nigga, you got on our woodchuck. Oh, man, listen, man. Hey, family. Did y'all hear, where did I leave off at? Let me know in the chat. What did y'all hear what I was last saying? Because, see, listen, that was my fault. I got on the woodchuck. Y'all know they can't handle it when I put it on their ass. The woodchuck coming. Listen, goddammit, PewTube, you sensitive bastards. You know that shit was funny. The bitch do look like a woodchuck. I'm not laying off her motherfucking ass. It is what it is, okay? Damn, man. Hey, I had to hit him with the evil laugh. What did y'all hear before I left off? I'm trying to close out, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what was the last thing y'all remember me saying before they got me, man? Because I was looking over away from my other monitor, and then I looked up and I was like, oh, damn. Sensitive bastards. You know what I'm saying? I can't help that bitch look like a damn can opener with legs. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, see that boy, they better leave me alone, man. I will come back and do an entire stream roasting that bitch, okay? Hey, man. Hey, so what you said there, brother Cookie said you sound like you were for the close out, okay? So did y'all hear anything that I was saying before then? Because I ain't going to keep y'all much longer. All I was saying was basically, fam, we got to make these people come to the table for proof of concept policy for us instead of trusting them. We cannot trust them to do what they said they were going to do. We can't trust them at all. Salute to good brother Black United for the cash out. We can't trust them at all because every time we've given them the benefit of the doubt and good faith, they betrayed us, okay? And we're not going to let them get away with it anymore. So that's what I was saying in closing there. But don't worry, though, family. We're going to cook Mr. Frank Zanu next, okay? And, you know, since they want to play games, man, you know, y'all know what I do when I get in creative mode. It's been a while since I hit y'all with a classic tune, Tooth of the Leicester, etc. I might have to do a song about a woodchuck. Okay, look, can't open my woodchuckers. Or I'm going to tell y'all, this AI I've been playing around with, ooh, they're gonna take AI away from me. Because y'all done seen what I've been doing over here in these short sections so far. Oh, expect some woodchuck action coming soon. Because I didn't like that interrupted my esteemed guest. Nonetheless, salute to everybody that's new subscriber to the channel. Salute to everybody that contributed to the broadcast. Like I said, I made my point. Remember, we are great and mighty people. Voting is a business transaction. If you want work for free, don't vote for free. That's it. Salute to you. Black first. See you all in future content.